What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about Fallout dev. Tim Cain says you should pay more attention to bad games. Publishers often don't learn from their failures because they only look at the games that sold well. We're also going to talk about WARDOGS playtest soars on Steam and Twitch challenging Modern Warfare 4 beta. And then we're also going to watch part 6 of the Power On, the Story of Xbox, Chapter 6, which is TV or not TV. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, you can become a member. We just cover news stories, videos, have conversations, and get you through a couple hours of your day. Appreciate it very much. What's going on, chat? How's everyone doing? Hope you guys had a good weekend. We had a little birthday weekend for my son this weekend. His birthday's on Tuesday, but we, family came into town. We stayed at a hotel this weekend, went to a water park and stuff like that. So I had a good weekend. I played about 13, almost 14 hours of WARDOGS, so I'll talk about that in just a few. My impressions on WARDOGS, if I liked it, do I love it, do I hate it? I'll let you guys know in just a little bit. What's going on, chat? Let me see who's all here. If you chat in the chat, I'll see you, and then I'll say hi to you. Altarn, good morning. Dave Reezy, what's going on? Jax, just enough. Saint, Sarge, Water Bear, Wonder Rose, good morning. How's everyone doing? Eclipse, good morning. Mr. Z, good morning. Kraken, what's going on? Water says, so you like it? Well, yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. So I played WARDOGS this weekend, and before I even started, okay, I was like in the game before it like launched at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock was like the launch time for it. And I just started playing the firing range, right? And in the firing range, you can practice by getting the helicopters and the tanks. You can mess around in the whole entire world and stuff like that. So I just started messing around in the copter. And I really like that as a thing in a game where instead of like playing the actual game, instead of getting in a helicopter and killing everybody in the copter with me, what I loved about this game is that you can go into your own like firing range, practice with the guns, practice with the actual vehicles, and you can learn how to do the vehicle instead of just learning on the job type of thing, right? So I thought that was a really good necessity, quality of life to have in the game. Then getting in the game, it started at 1 o'clock and boom. Okay, what happened was servers started melting. I was in the game. I got kicked out of the game. And then when I came back in, I was at, I think, 36,000 in the queue line. Then it went down to like 6. Then it kicked me back out. And then it brought me back in. Then I was like at 42,000. And then it went back down. And then it got down to 16,000. And then it kicked me out again. It was for about an hour or two. It was like this. And then slowly people got in. And then it wasn't really a big problem. But there was a lot of people. There was a lot of people trying to get in and play in the game here. We'll show you the peak concurrent yesterday. Okay. Oh, the peak concurrent yesterday was 105,774. Now, you could say, is that good? Is it bad? Marathon had 48,000 people when they played. Remember, that's Bungie. This is Bulkhead. This is not a complete, they're not high profile like them. I watched a podcast with Big Fry TV. We watch Big Fry on this channel quite a bit. He was interviewing Bulkhead and Joe, the head of the studio, and he was talking about how they really just wanted 10 to 15,000 people concurrent. Well, they got that, and they got that tenfold. Okay, they got 105,000. Obviously, you can say, well, of course he's going to say a low number, so it's impressive afterward. They truly didn't think they were going to have this many, but they had leading up to this, they had a million wish lists on there. And obviously them talking about what they talked about last week, saying, well, the beta's coming out, and if you pay the $40 and you don't like it, you can return it. It'll be interesting to see what happens after the fact was it 3 weeks from now, when it comes out on September 10th and it launches again. Now, I do find it, I had a conversation with Altern in chat, because day one, it hit a peak of like 91,000. And then it dropped off pretty dramatically, right, to about 53,000 when I brought it up. And he said, oh, well, that's not very good. I said, no, it is, because this game is really meant for older the older clientele, the people that were playing Battlefield back in the day, that are older now, that have kids, dad gamers, as Kingard says, right? Older gamers that have less time, but they want to play. And that is the sweet spot of this. Like, even the people that you're talking to in the game, you could tell they're older guys, right? And again, there's girls there too, but majority older guys that have been around. They've been playing other games, and they found their little niche, right? So obviously, late at night, it kicks up more. In general, it does. But again, for adult gamers that have lives and responsibilities and stuff like that, they tend to get it in the evenings, right? So much so that last night it peaked at 105,774. Now, the game itself, I have to say, when you're playing by yourself, it could be fun, all depending on what you try to do, okay? But man, is it a blast. It's a fucking blast. It's a blast when you're playing with the squad. It doesn't matter if you have friends that are in that squad or if you're just in a random squad. Just communicating and starting to go with the group and working together because of the money system. Okay, because of the money system. Now, there could be some exploits and stuff that happen as the game goes and as they develop it and stuff like that. But just over the test weekend, the people that were playing, because of the money system and because money makes the world go around in WARDOGS and in life, if you fall, right, if you're down, you'll see somebody come from like super far away to run over to pick up your ass, okay, because they get money for it, right? It's crazy to me. You play Battlefield, no one picks you up. You play Call of Duty, no one picks you up. No one's picking you up in this game, in any other game. In this game, people will run out of their way to come and pick you up, and you can bribe people. And not only can you bribe people, the enemy team can pick you up, okay? They can pick you up. You can communicate to somebody and be like, hey, can you please pick me up? I'll give you $500 and you can have all my gear. And now you have no weapons, but they'll let you go, right? The amount of stuff that's happening in this game, you're like, well, why would they do that? Because they're in the moment. They're playing. They're doing like role playing and stuff like that. It is crazy. It's so much fun, okay? The people that get in the helicopter, you have this uneasy feeling when you're getting to WARDOGS and you get into a helicopter because you don't know if the guy that's flying the helicopter knows if he's flying the helicopter, if he knows what he's doing, or if it's just a guy that just got a brand new helicopter, okay? And I was laughing my ass off so many times because it would be a running joke. You would get in the helicopter and you would start talking to everybody else. Go, what are the odds? What are the odds we make it to the battlefield? And then you make it to the battlefield, and as you're landing, you're getting sniped out of the helicopter. Someone does a rocket to you. All of a sudden, he clips a tree and blows up the entire thing. It is hilariously fun, okay? And it's not... How can I put it? You could get upset and stuff like that, but the funny part is, if everyone's down on the ground and all of a sudden people come over, they'll start reviving you. And you can start from there. People wait. People wait to get picked up. Why? Because they could be broke. And if they go back to base, they don't have the kit anymore that they have on them. So they wait there, and it's a slow timer. I mean, it's like 5 minutes if you sit there the entire time. And people come and pick you up, and they'll give you bandages, and they'll help. Why? Because they get paid. And the more they help you, the more they're benefited from it. And the more they're benefited from it, the better it is for your team. It is such a great mechanic, right? The money that's in the game to make people do what they're supposed to do, which is play the game. Now, the scenario that happens here, is when you're playing the game and taking over, there's the large circle. And before I played, I was like, well, that's kind of weird that the circle's in the center of the map and there's all this other stuff that's happening on the map and whatnot. But it's actually quite ingenious what they do, right? And it's not original or anything like that, but it's a great thing. It's King of the Hill with 3 teams, okay? And everyone that's in the circle, so there'll be a number at the bottom of the screen as a ticker goes on, but it tells you how many people are in the main circle. It is like Planet Side 2, Jay Breezy. What's going on, right? And it tells you, and anybody that has the majority of people inside the circle, it goes up, okay? And every like minute or so, it makes a tick. If it's tied, it doesn't go to anybody. Whoever's got the highest number of people in the thing, it goes to that color. Then you have the towers that people can make bases on, the 4-base operations. You can put the 4-base operation anywhere, but what you really want to do is put it in a base, try to protect that base or the tower, and then hunker down and have as many people there, because then the people have to come attack you. Okay, because what you're trying to do is there's another circle within the circle that gets double XP. Okay, and if you get a fob and you put it underneath one of the towers and you can fortify that, well, then you can bring the code, you type in the code, and the thing goes to your tower and stays over your tower. It gives your team an abundance of more advantage over everybody else, and then the other teams have to come. And what the nice part is, because there's 3 teams, it keeps it fair, because if it was just 2 teams, you would just have that battle at that one place. But if there's a battle going on with one place, there's the other team going around capturing other points, doing the other things. So there's constant battle going on. It's fantastic. Then you have, you know what? Let me bring up just someone's gameplay as we're talking about this. All right, let me bring up someone's gameplay while we're talking about this. Let's bring up. We'll put this gameplay. This is from 6 days ago. Okay, we'll just.
They are in the tower.
I'm not gonna have it volume. I'll just put it up in the background, and I'll put his channel in the description down below after here. But we'll just have this playing, right? This is Tomograph, right? That's his name. For sure. Yeah, Tomographic. Okay, great creator, right? Good channel to watch. But we'll have his gameplay in the background so you can see. And it's just, what a great game. I had so much fun, right? I had so much fun playing this game. And it really is, right now, because of the early access, not a lot of people had a lot of the gear. Okay, don't get me wrong. There are people that were like level 80 and stuff like that. I got to level 17 in the 13 hours that I played. I was playing real slow. Didn't kill that many people, but you don't have to kill a lot of people. You can bring people to the battlefield. You can build to get money. You can revive people to get money. And everything you do in the game levels you up and unlocks more stuff with inside the class that you're playing. And you can mix classes. You're not actual class. If I start reviving people, I'm getting stuff for medic. If I start shooting in recon, I pick up a sniper rifle in the field and start shooting at it, then I get recon stuff. If I drive people, I get a driver rewards. If I get flying people, I get pilot awards, right? So it's constantly, no matter what you do, it's just good old time. The guns that he's using, if someone else is high level and has these guns unlocked, you could just pick up it off of his dead body and start using it, right? You could go into the field with no weapons whatsoever and just pick up dead bodies and get the weapons from there as well. It's a really, really good time. It's very, very dependent on communication, like Hell Let Loose type of stuff like that, like Arma. But it's also, you could go in solo instead. Again, their link up system of how to get people in your vehicles or not get in the vehicles. You can have squads. You can make your own squad. You can make certain people come in so that only those people in your squad can get into the vehicle, so you don't have randos getting into your vehicle. If people do get in your vehicle that you don't want in your vehicle, you can kick them out. Like, they've done some really nice things in this game for quality of life type of stuff, and it's phenomenal. The amount of fun that you can have in this game is endless. And this is just the one map that they have. Now, logistics, right? Logistics, building stuff is one of the most important things, but everyone that's playing this game right off the bat thinks it's a battlefield, thinks it's an Arma, thinks it's just gun, boom, boom, type of stuff like that. But it's not, okay? You need the supply stuff. Now, I was messing around, right? I played a little bit where I made a fob off the outside. Someone comes up to me and goes, "Why did you build this here? This is the worst place ever." I was just like, "I'm just building just to understand what's going on." He's like, "Oh, cool then." I had a whole group of people all of a sudden just start helping me build. We built this like castle of barricades with the fob inside of it. I put a landing pad outside. I made a makeshift landing pad so the copter could come in, land, drop off gear. Okay, drop off gear. And when you drop off gear, then you resupply the fob. Okay, now you got to protect the fob, because if you don't protect the fob, now the other people can get the supplies and whatnot, and they hunker in to that area, and then that's a battle point. So here, I'm gonna pause this for a second. So you could put the 4 operating base inside the circle, but if you wanted to, you could put one out here. If you wanted to, like, why not? Okay, then people would pull outside to try to get it, but you have a way to get people to spawn in close to the base, because every time you die, you got to come back all the way back from your base, all the way back. I don't know if he's going to show it here as far as, yeah, so here's the tickets, right? Here's the tickets, and it tells you how many people are inside the zone or whatnot. Right, and every time you get the head, see how it says like 14, 29, 21 at the bottom here? Okay, so obviously red's getting the point right now because they have the majority of people. So as you're playing, you're like, oh, red's winning. So now you have to try to find red and green, or blue and green start working together to stop red from doing it. It's very cool. It's very cool. You can work with other teams. You can friendly fires on as well. You can revive other people. You can drop stuff for people. You can work together as a team, even though you're on two separate teams. It's crazy stuff. It's good stuff. It's just overall so much fun, right? They did a wonderful job. It ran so good. Now, are there bugs and little tweaks? Absolutely. Okay. But for the most part, it was so smooth. So smooth. Not a lot of problems inside the game. Hit detection's a little often sometimes. Reloading gets a little bit like you're reloading, but it won't reload for some reason. They know about these problems. Yeah, it's a hell of a walk of shame. Okay, let me see if he goes anything else here. Actually, you know what? I think he explains. Well, we don't have to actually watch that, but. I was gonna say watch him for a second. Right? Every time you load out, you have to get the gun, you have to get the weapons, you unlock stuff. So he's got 16,000. Okay, I don't know if he shows it here. But when you go to the operating base, okay, like for instance, you need to be assault level 3 to unlock this gun. Once you unlock it, then you have to buy it. Once you buy it, then you have it, then it's in your system that you can pick it up and whatnot, right? Same with attachments, some other things. If you find stuff in the world from other people, you don't get to bring that back with you. You don't get to unlock that. You can use it while you find it, but you don't unlock it. Okay? Lots of different weapons, lots of different gear, lots of different vehicles. Very good. It's very good. I'll be honest. I don't know if I'm going to play this a lot on stream. I will play it on stream, but I don't know if I'll play it a lot on stream unless I'm playing with people or if I find a good group, because when you're by yourself, it's very slow, very boring, okay, to watch. Now, obviously, if I'm chatting with the chat and stuff like that, it would be interesting. But for the most part, it's very slow going. But when you're with a group and the group's working together, it is something special. Let me tell you, if you've ever played all these other mill sims and stuff like that, it is special. Now, do I think this game is going to be the next Ark Raiders where it blows up? It could be. But personally, I don't care if it is. I don't care if it is. This game is so well done. And they got something special here. They do. Okay. Now, could you exploit some stuff going in? Do they have to lower down the leveling process? Maybe. It wouldn't hurt it. I don't know if they raised it just because of the beta or if they're going to change it when the full launch comes. But this game is something special for people that like these military games that were looking for like the Battlefield feel, working together, because you can make your own little missions to go on. Like if a guy is doing a mortar attack, you send a little squad out there to get the mortar guy, right? If there's people on the outskirts, you come around them. There's so many different things that you can do with this game. Very special, okay? Make a game, sell a game. They've made a game here, and they're going to sell the game. Is it going to be Battlefield? Probably not. Is it going to be Call of Duty? Probably not. But is it a game that you should pick up if you're interested in stuff like this? 100%. And it's going to be worked over for the next 2 years. Now, caveat to this is we still don't know what they're going to do as far as microtransactions. What they said, they're not going to be in the early access until after 1.0 launch, which is in 2 years. But at that point, could they ruin the game? 100% they could ruin the game with the microtransactions. Now, I don't know if they are. That's 2 years out. But right now, if you pay $40 and you want a fun game to play with your friends and buddies, just playing gameplay here. And this is only one map. When the game actually launches and stuff, it's going to have way more maps. It's going to add some more stuff. So that's my experience. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. Like I said, I have like 13.9 hours in the actual game. I thought it's done very well. It runs very well on the actual PC. They had potato mode. I played potato mode. I played the higher end as well. Just everything about this game is very, very, it's this, every once in a while, a special game comes along, and that's what this is. This is a very special community type of game. You can watch some content creators play it, having a blast. Even this gentleman, or Jack Frag, Tom Graff, or Will, you watch these guys play. It's just fun. It's a good time to watch. So there's my thoughts. Did you guys play at all this weekend? Did you play WARDOGS? Did you try it out? If so, let me know in the comments section. Let me know in the live chat. What you guys think of the game if you played it yourself? All right, let me see what you guys are saying here. Sarge says they will not let it go if they pay to get it up. They take the money and run. Oh, you're talking about something else. Okay. Jay Breezy says it's like Planet Side 2. Let's see. Jay Breezy says they seem to like real game devs. I've seen the video. 10 reasons not to buy the WARDOGS. Yeah, we covered it. We covered it on the channel, Jay Breezy. Mr. Luke says I didn't have time to play it, so I didn't pre-order. Sounds like you had fun. Yeah, it's a good time. We would definitely have a good time, Mr. Luke, working together and playing. Even if we did absolutely nothing, right? And I mean this. Like, even if we got into the game and didn't kill anybody and just ran around trying to do stuff, the banter that we would have while we play would be good. Clip says, yeah. Do not hip fire unless they fix it when it comes out. It was useless. Yeah. Some of the stuff was not good. But at the same time, there was more pros and cons. I love how people I watched the guy from an enemy team bribe somebody for $500, and then he revived him, got the $500, and then shot him in the face and killed him again. Right? Just Enough says one complaint I heard was lack of commander and squad coordination. Doesn't feel needed in this game. Well, here's the thing. You got to remember the circumstances that we're playing. You're playing the beta, right? Or early access beta, whatever you want to call it. Just Enough. So here, I'll put that up on the screen. So that's not popping up on the screen. How come it's not popping up on the screen? Why isn't that popping up on the screen? Let me refresh this if I can. Interesting. Doesn't want to pop up. Always something, right? We had it working. It worked, and now it's not working. Interesting. Let me see if I can play capture. Source. That. 1 second. Trying to figure it out here. Oh yeah, it's not here anymore. All right, let me see if this works. Nope. Awesome. There we go. Got it working. All right. So complaint was the lack of commander and squad coordination is needed. So the problem with the early access, I got into a match with a group of guys that was so coordinated. It was phenomenal. It felt like the hell let loose type of stuff like that. People were moving. People were talking and communicating what we needed, supply chain and stuff like that. They're like, hey, marked on the map. There's not one commander overall. There's groups of people that are talking to each other. Okay. So it's much more realistic in that sense. Now, if you're with a group that doesn't know anything because it is the early access and they're just trying to level up their characters, they're just trying to unlock stuff, they're just trying to understand what the game is, 100%. The longer the test went on, the more people started understanding what the fobs were, more people started understanding about building, more people understood it about, buying certain things, unlocking certain things, setting up certain places. It's just the nature of learning the actual thing. So I wouldn't give that the lack of commander and squad stuff. That's going to happen because people, brand new game, and they're just trying to understand what the stuff is in the game before. Again, hours down the line, people were really getting into it. Roic says, the fact that they are making their game and not copy-pasted COD, Battlefield, etc. is amazing these days. Pill says, usually it has the best gunplay, even though the other aspect might be disappointing. Some of the COD versions, the gameplay is always top tier compared to other FPS. COD has great gunplay, but I hate COD because it's always you over everybody else. It's your kill streaks, it's your things. It's not a team game. That's why I don't like playing COD and haven't liked playing COD since, was it 2009? Moore says, I'm convinced that WARDOGS is just a big paid marketing blitz. The game itself is so generic and derivative. That's not true at all. Not true at all. Pill says, I think that let me say this. I can agree with you, maybe a big paid marketing blitz and stuff like that, but they haven't paid for anything. Because if people are paid and not telling you they're paid, well, that's against the law. Right? That's against the law. Now, if people are doing it, that's up to them. I wasn't paid. I'm telling you how my experience was. Nobody's paying me. Just me playing the game and telling you how it was is me just playing the game and telling you how it was. Now, as far as saying that the game itself is generic and derivative, no, it's based off a mod in Arma, which is King of the Hill. Right? And they've done a really good job of making this game into what it is, and it runs very well. If you're not into that, that's cool. Phil says, the thing that the bad is many FPS game is that the auto IRL is if it squeezes the trigger and you empty the mag before it releases. Say it says, the new game seeming to be more cooperative. How long will this playstyle last? Well, this seems like this is the new thing, right, Saint? Like battle royales and then extractions and then whatever else, co-op games are, well, the funny part is Battlefield, WARDOGS feels like Battlefield 1942 did when it first came out in the early 2000s. That's what it feels like. Moore says, I don't think WARDOGS is bad. I just don't know why I'm choosing it over many others. Well, if everything I said doesn't appeal to you, well, then you don't play it. Go play the Armas. Go play the Hell Let Looses. Go play the other games. That's the beauty of it, right? If you think it's generic, then don't play it. Son of Pib says, I played some of it, but I can't get over the early PUBG style visuals. If that's what you think, then don't buy it. That's the best way, right? You don't like the visuals? There's some games I don't like the visuals. Don't appeal to me. Aku says hipfire accuracy is basically non-existent in modern full auto firing. You can do hip aim, but it's like if you're doing hip aim in this game, it's like the bloom is like it's bad. It's bad for right now. But they want you to, upgrade the weapons, put the attachment pieces on it. Again, early on in the game, you're a nobody, right? You have nothing unlocked. You have nothing to do. So everything's going to be worse. And then as everyone starts to unlock stuff, it's going to go up more and it's going to focus in more. Yeah, the graphics to me, again, you ever play BattleBit Remastered? Anybody play BattleBit Remastered? I didn't give a shit about the blockiness of it. The pure joy of gameplay of BattleBit Remastered was the gameplay. It was Battlefield when Battlefield wasn't Battlefield. That's why people liked BattleBit Remastered. It had nothing to do with the graphics. It was all about the gameplay. Gamers don't care about graphics. They care about gameplay and the fun factor. Oh, I loved Mag back in the day. That was unheard of back in the day. Right? We had 100 people. You're like, yeah, it's amazing. It actually kind of reminds me a little bit of that. Yeah, I had a good time with WARDOGS this weekend. I have to admit, I'm kind of sad that it's gone. Kind of sad that it's gone, and we have to wait now to September 10th. But that's a good feeling, right? When you want to play a game more and they take it away from you, and you're like jonesing for it. Like I'm looking up videos and watching other people's gameplay and stuff like that. That's when something captures you, right? And that could be any game for anybody, right? But when a game leaves that impression on you and you're interested in it, that's a good sign, right? All right, let's go from that to this WARDOGS playtest soars on Steam and Twitch, challenging Modern Warfare 4 beta. So WARDOGS is a new kid on the block, and the large-scale combat simulators is also an intense, realistic first-person shooter with some innovative in-game mechanics, such as monetary system that also allows players to unlock increasingly powerful arsenal and more explore the match as dominant of their enemies. It's kind of a game that promises the threat of a status quo held by shooters like Battlefield. But last night, during the launch, the Modern Warfare 4 beta had a sights set on Activision's supersized Call of Duty title. And at one point, WARDOGS was beating Modern Warfare 4. I don't like this like competition and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, people are interested in it. It's a $40, to jump into WARDOGS. I think Modern Warfare was free, right, for the beta? Or is it you had to pay for that as well? I don't know. I'm asking. Before going any further, if you like that, go to Insider Gaming. We'll talk about Insider Gaming in a second for another article. WARDOGS set to be success in a shooter space. WARDOGS comes from Bulkhead, British studio, with a love for industry and then goes beyond simply making these games. Recently, the team revealed an interesting new gameplay showcase called the FPS Game Show coming on September 3rd. Now, for now, all eyes are on WARDOGS, a large-scale sandbox-style shooter that promotes multiple styles of play across massive maps, encouraging emergent sequences, ensuring that match unfolds the same way twice, which is true. It never goes the same way twice. But again, that's early on, so a lot of people that were playing the game are going to start figuring out certain things. It was also as proven that the hit already last night, the game's most major play test, yet went live, and it's time, folks, that were allowed to stream gameplay. It resulted in a game catapulting on the charts of Twitch and other similar platforms. I think the only thing that was beating WARDOGS at one point was just chatting on Twitch. It was the number one game on there. At one point, WARDOGS was trumping all other games on Twitch, even beating Modern Warfare 4, which had gone live almost the same time. Yeah, here you go. Yep. So at one point, it was at beating Counter-Strike 2, which is very impressive. Very impressive for a non-known IP or whatnot. Okay, it says the game's not perfect, the numbers don't last forever, but this happens and the FPS player have dream of freedom and the game that they also actually want to play. This is WARDOGS. If you notice, you got WARDOGS, Counter-Strike 2, and Modern Warfare. So you got 3 first-person shooter games right at the top there. Even when Modern Warfare 4 peaked on Twitch, it only managed to grab 271,000 views on day one. The multiplayer and campaign beta WARDOGS peaked at just 200,000, which is also fair enough for a brand new IP trying to cut its teeth in the contested, saturated market. On Steam, WARDOGS managed to peak a player count at 92,000 during the time of this article, which again is a commended effort. Modern Warfare 4 was also, on the other hand, produced a total of 115,000. Right, they went up to 150 or 105,000, whatever. Separation isn't what you expect for a brand new indie shooter, arguably the most popular, recognizable first-person shooter in franchise history. Okay, it's also worth pointing out that the sentiments surrounding Modern Warfare 4 are not positive on Steam. The beta product has produced a shocking review score, hitting a whopping 61% negativity from more than 2,000 reviews on social media, and the game is getting picked to pieces on players and many. Well, let's be honest. Right? I don't play Call of Duty, but there's a lot more scrutiny on Call of Duty because Call of Duty every year is the same, and a lot of people don't like it because it's the Madden football syndrome type of thing, right? Very little changes here and there. When they do big wafts of changes, people don't like it. So there's a lot of scrutiny because it's a beloved franchise for many. So here it says, have you played WARDOGS or Modern Warfare 4 beta? Let us know. Did anyone play the beta for Modern Warfare? I don't play it, so anybody play it? Was it good? Was it bad? Same old, same old. Let's see. No console? Oh well, fuck them. So we have the WARDOGS there. We have the Grand Theft Auto stuff. I'm not going to really talk about the leaks and stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. We are going to bring up, let me actually bring up that article now. I thought it was funny. The Insider Gamer yesterday, when I was at the hotel, I saw the article they wrote in the morning about, you know, how they what is the word? They were a little upset because of all the stuff, and remember, reporting is supposed to be about actual facts, not because they're just reporting something. Now, the difference between YouTubers and a reporter is reporters supposed to have backup and facts, and you know, they're supposed to stringently look through stuff. And YouTubers are just reporting on stuff because they're not actual reporters. Now, some YouTubers are reporters and they call the studios up and find out what's going on. There are journalists that are now YouTubers as well. Okay, but we have this article. Okay, we have this article here that redacted GTA 6 leaker reported concerning releasing the build has been removed. Now, Grant Taylor Hill here from Inside Gaming says, "Hello, Insider. On August 22nd, I penned an article concerning the threat made by CyberLeak and entity of Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive, which suggests that they released a full build of Grand Theft Auto 6 and the organization refused to relate into their legal pursuit of the group. Now, unfortunately, this article has based on an image discovered and has been proven false, manufactured, and circled online by one of many people copying and aping that the CyberLeak is doing for whatever reason. As you can likely understand, this means that the original post has been scrapped and publicly debunked." Now, I do appreciate this because if you guys remember a couple of months ago, I was talking about how people run articles, and some of you actually defended this, which I was a little confused about, right? You were like, you don't expect a person to go back and change the article, right? They would have to do that all the time. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I expect them to do because they are a reporter. A reporter is supposed to remove the stuff that's not false and then update it and say, these are the reasons why. Okay. However, in recent hours, a creator by the name of Moist Critical uploaded a video talking to length about the article and the content behind it, going so far as to use the screenshot of the article for the video's thumbnail. While Moist Critical video is mostly logical and based on everything we've learned so far about the situation, it is too a representative of false content sprung by the article I wrote on August 22nd. It was obviously served as propaganda, incorrect report, even further through the social circles. We find ourselves in a troubling time right now, and we're at the precipice. Okay, we're at the precipice. Okay, of seeing none of the most important video games ever made to leaked in full, regardless of whether or not the report I wrote was false or not. There's no confirmation either way if CyberLeak does possess a full build of GTA 6, nor if there's any reason to assume that the group facilitated, I can't even say that word, as they seem, doesn't have a dead man switch that could exactly what the fake image suggested. For reference, it's stressed that Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive refused to stop hunting them and yielding automatically release of the build in millions of gamers worldwide. Understandably, this is the very situation why more due diligence must be taken. First of all, this is mind-boggling to me. You, Grant Hill, are a reporter. And I get that you're coming back and you're removing the stuff and righting the wrong. But the fact that you've done this before, most of Inside Gaming stuff is reported rumor, speculated, hearsay. Yet for some reason, chat, because it's Take-Two and it's Grand Theft Auto, this is the first time they've ever said, hold up, I said stuff that was wrong and now it's being portrayed online. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this. I haven't really covered the leak on the show, right? Why do I not cover the leak on the show, right? And if we do cover stuff, we constantly say, hearsay, this is what it is. This is my thoughts on what the article's saying, but these are not factual. A lot of people come in the chat and say, well, this is what's happening. And my take is, if you're going to read the stuff that you believe is believable and the stuff that's not believable, and you pick and choose what you think is believable or not believable, you got to go with both of them. You can't just pick one side or the other and say, oh, this is factual and this is factual, or this is not factual and this is not factual. You actually have to look at it non-biased and just say, this is the information. I'm putting it out there for you. You make a choice, but don't go around telling it it's fact. These people do this for a living. This is what they do. They write articles. They're supposed to call Take Two and be like, is this true? And if they say no comment or they're not responding to it, then that's what it should be. Not writing an article because of clickbait, not because you want to make the money off of it, because they're no better than everybody else that's doing it on YouTube. And for him to come out for just this game, not any other game. Where was this 2 years ago when they were doing the leak and stuff like that? Right? It makes no sense. It just seems a little odd that they had to revert back this. Now, again, I'm good with them going, look, we made some wrong decisions. We said some things that our people were running with, and we want to make sure people know that this is not factual as of yet, right? Because it's a whole bad game of telephone that's going on right now. And if you read the real stuff or fake stuff, you can't tell which is real or fake. So people are running with the stories how they want, hence why we don't cover it, because I don't know what the real story is. We can talk about it and have a conversation, but to say that anything is one way or the other, we don't know, right? It says to prevent false reporting, it's also extremely difficult to verify authenticity of the content in the world where fake reports are so easily manufactured. And the journalists, we must hold ourselves to a higher standard and expectations. It's kind of weird that, again, this one story brings them out finally. Up until this point, where was the journalistic integrity that we must hold ourselves higher standards and expectations? Up until this point, where was it, chat? The original report should not be considered a failing of Insider Gaming, but rather of myself. It was a rare blunder that's since been removed, and the article explained, redacted both across social media here and the front page of Insider Gaming. I will have to learn from my mistakes. I appreciate that. Great. Hear it out. But why is it this? Why is this the straw that broke the camel's back when everything else has been like this for years? We've covered so many articles from Insider Gaming. Why would this one be the one that, right? Just a little weird. As a team member of Insider Gamer, prides itself on being one of the most trusted and reputable sources in gaming space. In the last 4 years, we've grown in reliable authority in the business, and original reporting has been replicated by the heaviest hitters in the industry time and again. The situation is not a pure representation of the dangers of a knee-jerk reporting. Even when delete the coverage, it can have ripple effects to reveal ramifications that run much further than in the front page news feed and single website. Again, I apologize for the slip. I can only promise that it won't happen again, right? I'm a human. Again, I'll say it one more time. Why is it that this story of GTA is what broke the camel's back? When everything else, right? You know what this reminds me of? You remember the PlayStation leaks that happened a couple years ago? And there's that other content creators, kind of funny games, right? They used to report on all leaks. They used to say everything about everything, right? They just speculate and talk about the leaks. But then there was the PlayStation leak. And was it the Wolverine leak? I forget if it was the Wolverine leak or something else. It was the Insomniac leak. It was the Insomniac leak. Okay? And they were like, we don't report on leaks. And I was just like, well, this is interesting. You used to report on leaks all the time. But the straw that broke the camel's back for that was when it was a PlayStation Insomniac leak. And they were like, we don't report on leaks. Now, I haven't watched Kind of Funny Games at all. So I don't know if you guys watch them. But have they talked about the Grand Theft Auto leaks at all? Or have they just completely stayed away from it? I don't know. Just asking. Warbear says, the leaks today are nuts. The NPC Destiny is incredible. Alter says, if you play GTA 5 Enhanced Edition, you can tune NPCs and card density to high. PCs started to heat up, so it's lowered down. So yeah, I believe it's 6. It might be higher than the same. Alter says, Insider Gaming most popular title is It's Claimed or It's Rumored. That's what I'm saying. So are we never going to see any of those stuffs again, Alter? We read their articles every single day, and it's claimed, it's rumored. Why wouldn't this one be different? Why wouldn't they just say it's claimed, it's rumored, but instead they ran with it as fact? Why? That means they were trying to be clickbaity? You know what I mean? Deadeye Survivor says, I'm a PC only. Haven't looked at one leak yet, and I won't. I have no intention to, and the game will likely be spoiled by console players, and they're also only most complaining about the spoilers. Deadeye, that's exactly how I feel. Like, a lot of people that I see in my feed, I don't see them. I don't see the people posting leaks and stuff like that because I'm not clicking on those links. Now, and if I do click on one, I delete it from my browser history or whatever because I don't want to keep getting fed that in my algorithm, right? So obviously, as a content creator, we have people post stuff in our Discord, and I choose to click on the link and see what the leak is, and other times I don't, right? So I think it's very interesting to see what people, they're like, oh, I don't want to be spoiled, and they click on it. It's like, well, then why did you click on it? If you see someone trying to spoil something, unfollow them, block them, don't click on it, right? Alter says, yeah, Insomniac hack, and because it got hacked, they won't report it. Are they doing it? Are they doing it with GTA as well? Alter, do you know? What's going on, Roadkill? Roadkill says, I've been looking at all of these leaks and we're posting some. Roadkill says, I don't care about spoilers and anything. I can watch spoilers. It doesn't ruin anything for me. I'm the same. But I also don't go around trying to wreck it for other people as well. You know what I mean? I just think it's funny that inside gaming, this is it. They were like, nah, can't do it. Now I don't know what they've posted anything else recently. Now, here, just on the topics here, right? All GTA 6 Cyberleak leaks so far, map, honor system, gameplay videos. Why are they talking about that? Right? GTA 6 leaker posts the 7th gameplay thing. Right? Why are they posting this stuff? This one were redacted what they did, but everything else, they constantly do the same stuff. So all of a sudden, well, we'll see. I guess we'll see, right? We'll see if they change the ways that Insider Gaming reports on stuff. It's claimed. It's rumored. Papa GTA or Sony sent them a threatening email. It's claimed, right? It does seem like that though, right? I'm not saying that's what happened. I just think it's a little strange that this is what broke the camel's back of them reporting and going, we made a mistake. We don't report stuff that's not real. It's like, hold on. Can I do a search? Can I do a search here and just put it's claimed? Right?
The problem is Scotty is a fake character and can't help you IRL at the last second. That beaming up and phaser power ain't gonna fix itself.
Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Right? Like, look at all this. Here, we have a whole list here. Right? We have a whole list here. Xbox surprise sequel could be recent franchise, it's claimed. Activision may one day make Halo game, it's claimed. Kingdom Hearts announcement arriving today in D23, it's claimed. Lego Marvel Games paused with different Warner Brothers IP favorite, it's claimed. Right? Pokemon wins, Wave of Swords and Shield DLC director, it's claimed. Right? So what's the difference? All they had to do was put it's claimed in the title, and they would have been okay. Assassin's Creed won't release for another year at least, it's claimed. Resident Evil Requiem getting major DLC expansion, it's claimed. Right? Halo projected cancellation reason revealed, it's claimed. Black Ops 1 and 2 port player count dominating Black Ops 7, it's claimed. Right? New Fortnite season featuring game icons and Crash Bandicoot and an icon, it's claimed. Like, what are we talking about here? I'm just a little confused on where they draw the line. Roic says it's like saying it's my opinion. Correct, Roic. So why didn't they do that for the GTA article? Why didn't they just say Cyberlink, blah, 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 it's claimed. Why did they run with it as fact? Why did they run with it as fact? Because it is the hottest thing to talk about, and they wanted to get revenue. They were called out about it, and now they had to backtrack, which I'm okay with. Kudos to them, okay? The fact that people said months ago when I said, when someone makes a mistake, they have to backtrack, right? They have to backtrack and say, hey, we made a mistake, which Inciting Gaming has done. For whatever reason, they did it for this, but not for anything else, right? When someone talks about something and then it's shown down the road that it's not correct, no one goes back and fixes the articles, but this one they did. Why? Makes no sense. I mean, it does make sense, but it doesn't make sense. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about, right? When we talk about stuff here, I give you my opinions on the things. I don't go, this is facts. Now, some of you out there think I'm saying it's facts, even though I say this is just my speculation. This is the way I think. This is what I think is going on, right? But people forget those words. Those are very important, by the way. The next story. Roic says, I get no one's perfect, but you have to own up for your mistakes, especially, here, before I even go to, you have to own up to your mistakes, especially in their own words that he just said, right? I closed the article down, but what they said was they have to keep to a higher standard. That's what reporting is supposed to be. How am I supposed to trust you as an article or as an outlet if you're just telling me lies? And all the other stuff that you've said is claimed or rumored. This particular thing that you reported on, you said as fact. Why? Even though you knew it wasn't factual. You're just reporting. And if your report is an opinion piece, then just put it in. You've done it for every other fucking article on your website. Why did they miss it on that one? Because they were stirring up the pot on purpose. So even them coming out to apologize about it, saying, oh no, they had a mental breakdown as a business and said, no, let's join in on this and get involved in all of this. And then either they were, again, speculation on my part, speculation on chat's part, they were called up and said, hey, you got to remove this. People think this is true because you reported it. And if you're going to believe what you hear from articles that you're supposed to have a trusted source, yet there's no trusted source. Yes, they fixed this, but all the other ones, they just say it's claimed or rumored. So that's all they had to do. It's claimed or rumored, and they would be fine. But instead, they made an apology for this. Why? Just a little weird. Daddy Warbucks Take Two picked up the phone and was like, hey, you got to pull this. Ron says Concord doesn't have to worry about leaks and spoilers. No, they don't. All right, the next topic we're going to talk about here is Fallout dev Tim Cain says you should pay more attention to bad games. We know Tim. We know Tim. Tim Cain.
Tim Cain walks in with a question so bold. Do gamers know what they want? He's told. The crowd says yes, but then starts to fight. Tim shakes his head. Yeah, that sounds about right. Tell me what's good, not what's gone wrong. If you just complain, the list gets too long. You say, this sucks, but what do you mean? Fix the bugs or scrap the whole scene. Tell me what's good, give me a clue. If you only rant, then what can I do? Do gamers know what they want? No. Do devs know what gamers want? Also no.
So there you go. Tim Cain, Fallout dev Tim Cain says you should pay more attention to bad games. Often they don't learn from the failure because they only look at the games they sold well. So gamers will frequently point to popular games and say, we want more of that, without necessarily knowing exactly what part of those games made them so good. Do the developers know what made it so good? Do the developers know? Says, Jesus Christ. I could write this shit. A great Alan Moore once said that the sort of negative inspiration you get from reading a drivel is even more fruitful of inspiring authors than the kind you get from reading the classics. Fallout co-creator, prolific video blogger Tim Cain took to a step further in a video he published Wednesday, saying that everyone from a bigwig publishers to the casual gamer could learn a thing or two from bad games. I have a question. Let's name a bad game right now, chat. I'll say Redfall. Right? I'll say Redfall. What did we learn from Redfall? Right? Would you play Redfall after it being so bad, even though they played it? Most people don't. Why? It's a bad game. We know it was a bad game before it came out, and then we played it, and it confirmed it was a bad game. Gollum, bad game. King Kong, whatever the island thing, Skull Island, bad game. Right? Water Bear says Marathon, bad game. Right? So what is Tim Cain talking about? Said, granted, he's not talking about irredeemable refuse of Leisure Suit Larry Mega Cum Ladra, right? But rather than many cases where one game came out, it wasn't very good, and it was forgotten. You could learn a lot from games like that. You know, stuff like Viking Battle of Asgard. we learned from Redfall. We learned from Midnight Sun. Not Midnight Sun. What was the one? South of Midnight. South of Midnight. Okay. For a publisher, quote, for a publisher, the success of game sales, because of that, they often don't learn from failures because they also look at games that sold well. If a game is bad, but it sold well, well, then it's not a bad game because it's successful, because the people that liked the game and bought the game played the game, so that wouldn't be considered a bad game. Now, what considers a bad game? Is it the Metacritic? Right? Can you have a bad game that also sells well? 100%. 100%. Okay? But does that mean it's a bad game? No, because people bought it. Like, for instance, I don't like Among Us. In the beginning, nobody liked Among Us. So much so that no one played it except when a streamer started playing it. I think it was Soda Poppin' or someone else started playing it. It became a popular game and everyone else started playing the game.
What the hell, Tim? You said don't tell us what is bad. Now you want to look at bad games?
Right, Mr. Z? Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Right? Like, I don't understand. If it's sold well, then the developers don't know there is a bad game because they're like, hey, we have a clientele that bought the game, so we're going to make a sequel to the game. Hey, gamers will frequently point out, gamers, quote, gamers will frequently point out some popular games and say what we want more of that, without necessarily knowing exactly what part of those games made them so good. If they do point out to bad games, they tend to point out to well-known bad games. Okay, let me read that again in English. Okay. Gamers will frequently point to popular games and say, we want more of that. Yes, without necessarily knowing exactly what part of those games made them so good. Again, we have this conversation with Tim every time he says something. It is not my or your responsibility, okay, to tell the devs what's good or bad. If I buy your game and I'm enjoying your game, I like it. For whatever reason, the loop, the gunplay, the sports mechanic, the menu system, the whole thing, right? We like it. You made a good game. So whatever you did to make that game the way it is, Tim, you should do that again. And you know what you did because you made the game. So if you made a game and it had the inventory and good gameplay mechanics, good story, good graphics, and poor graphics, whatever it was, and they're like, hey, we should just make more of this. It's not our job to tell you the details of why this is good. We just know it's good and we play it. So if you made it because you made the actual meal, you would know what made it good. Because if it's selling well and people like it, then just make that again. Hence why we want sequels of games. But the corporations say, oh, how do we change this? How do we make Halo 2 better than Halo 1? How do we make Halo 3 better than Halo? How do we make Halo Infinite better than? But it's not, because they're just taking the title now and going, well, they're going to buy it because it's Halo. They're going to buy it because it's Modern Warfare. They're going to buy it because it's Fallout. Okay. He says he liked the industry tunnel vision of critical darlings, sales behemoths, and only the most prominent flops to survivorship bias. He says, in addition to looking for common features amongst games that sell well, you should look for the common features amongst games that are considered unsuccessful. We shouldn't. We shouldn't look at anything. If a game is bad, we don't play it. If a game is good, we play it. Make a game, sell a game. If the game doesn't sell, that's on you, the developer. That's on you, the company. Why that game didn't sell. What didn't they like? Why didn't they buy it? Maybe we're blinded. What didn't we do in this game that other people like games in? It says if you can't tell the good from the bad in a good game, Cain reckoned, you will possibly miss out on why they are successful. This happens all the time in video games, and everybody does it. Well, it's also subjective. Cain's point of ultimately that not every aspect of a good game is equal part of why it's good. What are we talking? Plenty of the great games have low frame rate, atrocious user interface, and crash bugs, he noted. And a reliable way of understanding games more deeply is to sit with an unsuccessful one, curious about what went wrong. Again, that is not on us. If I don't like something, I move on. I don't sit there and go, why don't I like it? Let me give feedback to that. That's up to you, my friend. If you make a game, it's not my choice or need to take out of my day and go, this is why Redfall sucked. No one played Redfall. Why didn't they play Redfall? Well, maybe if you look at your gunplay and you compare it to other people's gunplay and go, well, that's off. And if they look at the overall exploration, they go, oh, well, that's off. Oh, and our NPCs are dumb. And when you put a flashlight in their face, they don't actually do anything. That's broke. Okay. These are just surface level stuff that you can see with your own eyes as developers. Wait, is that it? That's the whole article? It stops there? What the hell? I'm confused what Tim's asking. Is it our job, Chad, to tell them what's bad with the game? But when people say what's bad with the game, they don't want to hear us because we're just complaining on the internet, though. So which one is it? Do you want to hear what's wrong with your game? And we have to tell you what's wrong with your game, but then if we tell you what's wrong with it, you don't like what we have to say? I'm a little confused here. Sarge says he wants a guaranteed list of how to be successful. It doesn't work that way. Shane says, how to tell this to why my boss all the time. Why sales down? Because they don't like our product. For whatever reason, I never heard any complaints, idiot. Morris says, historically, the best creative is unexpected. Breakthrough hits usually can't be predicted or created through the historical data. Right? That's why people make sequels to movies, sequels to books, sequels to... because they go, what worked on that last one? I don't know. Let's try to recreate what we did there. But a lot of the corporos, a lot of suit guys, try to just recreate and go, why didn't this one sell like the last one sold? We made it exactly the same. Did you? Right? Remember what I always say. Like, if you have the baseline, right? Battlefield 1 or 1942, and then the next one came out, it has to be what that one was, bare minimum, and just a little bit more, right? A little bit new feature, stuff like that, without taking anything away. Same exact thing, just a little bit extra feature, right? Bad Company, they put destructible environment, right? And that's a stable now. So now going forward, you need destructible environment in all your stuff. When you take the destructible environment out of the game, well, now you've dropped the bar. And remember, you're like, I don't really like this game because it's not fully destructible environment anymore, right? Fully destructible environment should be at that level. That's just one example. Sarge says, game testers, Tim. Where are your game testers? Who is it Tim addressing? Sounds like he's talking to the devs. It sounds like he's talking to us, the gamers. That's the confusing part. He's not talking about, right? Because the article says, pay attention to the bad games. Often don't learn from failure because they're only looking at the games that sold well. What are we talking about? Brackets is not my job. Let them make their bed, lie in it. Yeah, make a game, sell a game. You're only looking at the bad games, you have to look at the good games. Go, hey, what games sold well? Well, I'm making an RPG, right? We're making an RPG, chat. So, as an RPG creator, what games are you looking at? Are you looking at the shitty RPGs that didn't sell well? Or are you looking at the games that sold well? Right? Now, you don't have to make your game exactly like Diablo, right? Because obviously, you wouldn't want to do that. You'd be like, okay, well, Diablo is the top selling because they made a name for themselves over the years. So let's look at another game that's successful and let's try to do what they're doing. Right? That's where you would start the game. Be like, okay, We want to make an RPG. Perfect example, Path of Exile. Path of Exile wanted Diablo 2. Diablo 2 didn't want to make any more Diablo 2, so Path of Exile came in and said, let's make Diablo 2. And then they made Diablo 2 better. Now they have Path of Exile 2, and they've raised the bar from their last one. If I want to make a Battle Royale, which Battle Royales am I looking at? You probably still look at PUBG, and then you would also look at Fortnite, and then you would look at other ones. If you're making an Extraction, you probably want to look at Tarkov. If you're making a strategy game, you see what I'm saying? Like, if you want to make an action-adventure game, you might want to look at Uncharted. You might want to look at other games. This is what you have to do. Not copy them, but look at what made them successful. The bar's here. You have to hit that bar, and if you don't hit the bar, don't bother making the game. Because that's the standard now. That's the new standard. Right? If someone comes out with a Battle Royale right now, they have to hit the bar that was set by all the other Battle Royales out there. If someone comes out with a strategy game, they have to hit the bar, which is all the other things that have come out. It doesn't have to be leaps and bounds ahead. It just got to be at the bar. You don't even have to go just a little bit above. You just have to be at the bar, bare minimum, at the bar, whatever the bar is set. Sarge says, you learn from every game, Tim. What the fuck are you talking about? Yo, I'll even break it down even more. Right? Content creators. If you're watching someone that's reporting on news in the YouTube space, right? People have it different ways, right? Like I have my video here like this, and then we have you have the video, the screen share over here. Some people do it full screen. Some people do the thing, but they all do it in a certain way for themselves, okay? Some people do it more professionally. Some people do it less professionally. Some people just put it up on the thing, but they're all hitting the bar of having camera on screen and also having the news story on screen, right? That's the bar. The bar is like, if I'm going to report on this stuff, I have to have at least a professional level enough to have the exact same thing. Then you have to have, people are putting the names up on the screen, right? Oh, people are doing the super chats and stuff. Well, why are they getting more views? Well, you gotta raise the bar. Why? You gotta make it a little bit more entertaining because you have to hit the bar for what everyone else is doing. That's called competition. You can't sit there and go, well, let me see why I'm not being successful, and let me go look at that. Like, nobody cares. Barbear says marathons set the standard for making great games. That's right. Let's go. Let's do a marathon check, shall we? Let's do a marathon check. Let's go to the marathon check. Whew. It's looking good. Looking fantastic. If this is a stock, get the fuck out. What? Now, why isn't this game? It's got great graphics. What's the problem with it? Right? What's the problem with it? What does it do well? What doesn't it do well? Why don't people like it? Dead's Eye Survivor said, look at Mind's Eye. Hoodwink consumers where CEO made a presentation to entice more sales. There was no bugs or glitches in the presentation. I call it dishonest, lack of moral, and integrity. We looked at that. Me personally, we actually watched it because someone brought it up in the channel and said, hey, this game looks interesting. We looked at it and went, it looks terrible. Right? Now, we all have our own tastes. Right? One of us is going to be right and one of us is going to be wrong. It doesn't mean that because what I said made it right. But we looked at it and said, something's off about this game. It doesn't look right. And then as it got closer and closer, we're like, yeah, it doesn't look good. And then it came out and it flopped because we could see with our eyes. Isn't it crazy how much more people, when they criticize a game and they say it's bad and it comes out being bad, how we're more right than wrong? Crazy, I know. Right? Then there's people that just say something's going to be bad because it's going to be bad. I mean, that's not what most of us do. We look at it and go, yeah, it doesn't look very good. And if the core gaming doesn't look very good, then people are like, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to play it. No, you got to buy low. Well, no. What I'm saying, Eclipse, is if you owned it here, okay, you got to sell before it hits here. Right? This is something you don't buy, right? Because it's not going to go back up. right? Obviously, you want to buy when the stock is low, but this is never going to go back up. You don't touch this. There's no sign here showing any kind of life at all. It's never going to go back up to what it was. So you get out as fast as possible. All right, it's 11:10. Let's go to part 6 here. Part 6 of Xbox. TV or not TV? I believe 30. Don't crush my beliefs. I mean, go ahead. If it's a stock, go ahead, buy Marathon. I wouldn't buy Bungie. Well, actually, you can't buy Bungie now, right? They're privately owned now. So, were they ever publicly? I don't even know if they're public. I don't do that stuff. So, all right, let's go to part 6 here. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We've watched 5 parts of this series that Jax brought up and said, hey, you should watch this. This will be entertaining. It's been very entertaining the entire time we've been watching this. So this is part 6. We started 2 weeks ago on Thursday. We watched part 1. We watched part 2, 3, 4, and 5 last week. And now we're doing part 6 this week. This is the last one of the series. It's 40 minutes, so about 35 minutes long. So let me make sure it's normal speed. And let's start the part 6 here.
The battle to control the entertainment pipe into your living room just got a bit more interesting. Microsoft's Xbox announcing some landmark news today as it moves into the media business.
It's time for a new generation of Xbox!
And now, Microsoft wants to appeal to more than just gamers.
They can also control your TV and cable box and
everything from your movies to video conferencing on Skype to doing all kinds of things.
It's crazy to think that everything they're talking about from 13 years ago is exactly what we're doing today. Exactly what we're doing today. But 13 years ago, we pushed back.
Casual gaming, television, social, music, and video.
the game console will transform into a next-generation entertainment hub.
For both gamers and non-gamers alike.
It's almost like if they didn't announce this and they just let it happen naturally by just not at a big conference calling it and just saying, hey, they've added Netflix. Hey, they've added YouTube. Hey, they've added stuff. Nobody would have cared.
What if I told you that going forward, our competition is not going to be Sony and Nintendo, but television and media?
Now listen to that. Listen to that. So here we are. 13 years ago, right? They're talking about how they're trying to get a media company, and it's not about competing with Sony and Nintendo. Here we are later. The Xbox is not competing with Sony or Nintendo in the gaming space, right? They lost the generation for Xbox One. They've lost this generation for Xbox Series S and X, but yet they've gotten more people, even though they've less successful than the other two companies. They've gotten more people for Game Pass and all the other services that they're doing for media purposes.
Oh, God.
There's a new contender in the video game wars.
Xbox is going to be the future, truly the future of video games.
Xbox
taking over the living room.
Did you see how many people are playing How to Fish Game? That's crazy. 300,000 people today. This is why I love PC gaming. The only indie game that could get big on PC gaming. Wait, what is... Put a pin in that, Eclipse. We're going to watch this and then bring that up after we're done.
Limitless, connected digital entertainment.
You guys never understood.
The company is going to face fierce competition.
Sniper!
It's a ticking time bomb.
Makes me very nervous to actually play this for you.
Xbox getting a major overhaul.
A bold vision for the future of gaming.
Right, Ron? Explains why Xbox first-party games are on PlayStation 5. They're just trying to be everywhere. This was the plan the entire time 13 years ago.
On May 21st, Microsoft will unveil its latest Xbox system. Xbox has been the best-selling gaming console for 27 consecutive months. We're expecting a slew of entertainment options, including possibly taking over your cable box and also delivering web content in easy and attractive.
Does anybody use their consoles as web browsers? Like every day? Do you guys use your web browser on your Xbox? It's the worst fucking experience that you could possibly have. On any console, it's the worst experience ever. I can't imagine people using that every single day, like for everyday life.
Ways.
It was exciting to think about what a single-purpose, dedicated entertainment console could be. So we picked that as a path with Xbox One. We wanted a broad device that touched all parts of gaming and entertainment.
Give all the shit you want to this man right here, okay? But we are living in what he announced 13 years ago today. And we have been living in it for the last, I don't know, 8 years? Do you know what I'm saying? Between your television set, your cell phones, or your consoles, you're watching Netflix, YouTube, you're watching all of this stuff on the actual device.
That touched all parts of gaming and entertainment.
Come on, put your hands in.
We wanted to bring new audiences into Xbox. People that were outside of what traditionally was thought of as our core gaming audience. That was really the intent at the time.
Within the company, there's always a sense of do more and grow, but I think Don was looking for like, what's that next big leap after Connect? And I think there was a sense that TV could be that thing.
Microsoft's gaming platform is becoming a true entertainment hub. It just announced that for the first time, people are using the Xbox more for entertainment, TV, movies, and music, than for playing video games.
What year? I would like to know this. Hold on. I'm gonna pause that for a second. What year did what year did Amazon Fire Stick come out? The original Amazon Fire TV Stick came out in November of 2014. Okay. Okay. Amazon, okay. Google Chrome. Or that's what it's called? September of 2008. All the stuff that you could hook up to your television set and stream stuff to your thing for a media device was out already, right? 1 year after the Xbox, right? Was it Chromecast? Is that what it was called? Chromecast? Google Chromecast? Hold on. Chromecast. Yeah. July 24th, 2013, Chromecast came out. Think about this for a second now. From what he said in the very beginning, they're not competing against PlayStation and competing against Nintendo. They're competing against everybody else for entertainment. Chromecast came out in 2013. The Xbox One came out in 2013. Amazon Fire Stick came out in 2014. Sure looks interesting, doesn't it?
Having our team think not only about gaming, but television, movies, stories that lived inside our gaming community was something that I believed in.
Okay, this is an interesting idea.
And he wasn't wrong. It was just wrong timing. He was right about what he thought, just the wrong place and time to say it.
Yeah, Microsoft's going to get behind linear entertainment as well.
Xbox Entertainment Studios. The idea was to take Xbox the brand from gaming to Xbox the brand as entertainment.
Which they're still doing, by the way.
Movies, music, television. There's going to be a number of documentaries.
We all had big eyes for that. It's like, whoa, we're going to go Hollywood now.
And action.
After years in development, Microsoft's next-generation console was finally ready to be unveiled at a media event codenamed Newcastle. Coming off the success of the Xbox 360, expectations were through the roof.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the entire team, we're thrilled to unveil the ultimate all-in-one home entertainment system.
We did a stream from around the world and invited a bunch of media and influencers up to watch.
We gathered everybody into the conference room. We have it streaming on our television. We're all really excited.
Team Xbox is on a new mission to become the all-in-one.
That wording right there is what fucking killed it. Okay? Is what killed it, because all he had to say was, we're still doing games, but we're also doing this. I don't think that's the way he worded it. Let's hear him out here.
Excited.
Team Xbox is on a new mission to become the all-in-one system for every living room. The place where your games, TV, and entertainment come alive.
We're driven to build a future-proof system.
And this is why you don't market to suits, you market to the gamers. If they just did the gaming and told you after the gaming came out, was like, oh, you could watch Netflix, you could watch YouTube, you could do all this stuff as updates, as they do now. They're like, oh yeah, we've added this, we've added this. There's like new apps on the fucking consoles. Doesn't matter if you're on Sony, doesn't matter if you're on Xbox, doesn't matter if you're on Nintendo. They add new apps all the time now without even saying a fucking thing. Yet they made an announcement because this is for the suits, this is for investors, this is for the stuff, and the gamers are like, yeah, no, we're not interested in this. We just want to play games.
That brings together the cloud, smart devices, new content.
We are really excited to bring the world of Halo to Xbox as a premium television series.
We're sitting there listening to it the whole time. And I remember one of our engineers said, like, they're not even talking about any of the games yet. Are they going to talk about games?
With Kinect, we made...
Listen to what... The other 5 chapters, the Xbox, what they sat... Think about this for a second. They sat in the room to pitch Bill Gates a console for gaming. For gaming. They sacrificed their fucking lives to get gaming, to make this box. We watched all the other ones, right? And then this guy comes in and goes, what about if we just make this box a not gaming box? What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking about? He didn't have to say any of this and just say it was the most powerful Xbox playing game, showed games. People would have bought it for the thing, for the games, and you also would have gotten everything else on top of it.
You, the controller.
This is human control for a human experience.
It was all about entertainment, even a partnership with Steven Spielberg, and they showed a TV guide at the reveal event. I mean, that was really like the vision.
This is the beginning of truly intelligent TV. Xbox, watch TV.
You said,
I love the picture-in-picture. Love this in this feature. I play my games and have a football game up in the corner.
Television. We wanted to hear video games.
You know, we showed a few games, but core gamers were left unsatisfied.
Of course. You made Xbox for gamers. You made Xbox 360 for gamers. You made Xbox One for television? What? What?
We're all in the green room, and as each person would get off stage, you know, the execs in the room would ask what the pulse is on social, and it was not good.
This is not going well. This is not going well at all.
I am really, really disappointed.
I think I'm gonna go into mourning now. That's how I feel about you, Xbox One.
They didn't care about the DRM at that point. It was literally just about the entertainment, just enough. People were upset because of television. Because they did at the conference, they didn't talk about games. What do we complain about now when we watch things? Right? We don't want to see trailers, we want to see gameplay.
Hypercuts released minutes after the initial unveiling of the Xbox.
Watch TV. TV. TV remote.
TV. 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 TV.
Television, television. Television, TV, TV.
Television, television, television.
That was not the right way to unveil the next generation of gaming.
And you know what? Let them burn. That's what happened. That's what people did. They're like, nope, I'm good. There's no difference what's happening right now in the industry that happened 13 years ago. Right? People still own the Xbox 360 going into the next generation. They just didn't buy the Xbox One. People still own the PlayStation 5s. They're just not going to buy the PlayStation 6s.
Wow. That was the worst gaming event that I've ever watched, ever.
Probably could have done a better job of reassuring people that we were committed to excellence in gaming.
You literally made the box for gaming. Obviously, we're watching the videos and we see this now. But knowing that you made the Xbox for gaming, went through that whole deal to break into the gaming industry, then made the Xbox 360 the most successful gaming box that you've ever created out of the two, okay, competing with the big boys, and then just dropping the games and showing television. Just mind-boggling.
The response was so negative, and that was when I knew our lack of focus was going to hurt us with our core audience.
I can't even start.
The Newcastle reveal really was about showcasing the entertainment proposition that was going to come with the Xbox One.
We knew that E3 coming up in a few weeks was about games. We'll talk about all games when we get to
E3. In hindsight,
so here's the 1-2 punch. It's like, we'll talk about games when we get there, and then we'll talk about the DRM.
definitely not the right decision. You don't tell console gamers to tune into something and then not show them the games.
The next evolution of gaming is a voice remote control for your television.
The Xbox One reveal had obviously underwhelmed fans, but Microsoft saw an opportunity to right the ship just 3 weeks later on the game industry's biggest stage.
And they still fucked it up. Like, all right, guys, we got it. We'll talk about the games. We got it. We'll talk about games. Oh, by the way, you won't own the games that you have. And people back then were like, wait a minute, what? What did you just say?
This is an exciting day for our teams. And as we've been
I have a question. Is he wearing the same suit that he did back then? I think he did. I think the suit that he's wearing might be bad luck.
His biggest stage.
This is an exciting day for our teams. And as we've been promising, it's all about the games. We're excited to share with you a stunning lineup of...
They were selling Blu-ray players, Saint, because it was the cheapest Blu-ray player. Nobody cared that it was a Blu-ray player. Everyone's like, wait a minute. If I buy a regular standard Blu-ray player, it's going to cost me $1,000 at the time. But a PlayStation that's a Blu-ray, I can play Blu-ray and I can play video games?
World premiere gameplay.
It was an expensive video game system, but a cheap Blu-ray player. That's why people bought the PlayStation 3.
And announcements.
The ball's in Microsoft's court, and they come out and they show some games. And then right at the end of their press conference, I remember looking up at the teleprompter.
Xbox One will launch this November in 21 markets around the world at $499 in the US.
$499.
At the time, the ideal price point was $399. Anything that over $399, you're in for a real struggle.
The issue was that with Xbox One, Don's view was the new Kinect was going to be required as part of the box. So it was no longer just a peripheral like the original Kinect.
Right, that's another thing. No choice. They're giving you a camera, right? They're forcing you to get the camera. Now we look back at it. You have a phone in all your pockets. Everyone's got cameras. They were videotaping themselves and doing stupid shit on the internet. What a different world we live in, huh?
Now you were going to be forced to buy one.
This is a terrible mistake, a huge mistake.
But definitely caused a disconnect. Why are you charging me more money? I don't want this.
Right. $499, and I don't want that.
It had so much promise. It just wasn't ever going to be a thing that hardcore gamers wanted.
Especially when it upped the price by $100. And then, later that day, Sony announces the price of the PlayStation 4.
I'm very proud to announce that PlayStation 4 will be available at $399.
And there you go. In a quick swoop of, whoo, there it goes. Remember the response when they had the PlayStation 3, and it was extremely expensive. And everyone at PlayStation was like, boo. Then all of a sudden they came out with $399.
We were surprised by the $100 difference. You know, then it's like, that's a pretty big headwind to come back from.
You have essentially the same hardware, but one device.
Now think about it today. Think about today. Xbox is $100 cheaper than PlayStation, and yet you have people defending PlayStation, right? Gamers don't, the gamers, just the gamers. We're not talking about the fanboys here. The gamers just want price reasonable so they can buy the console. Now you have the PlayStation that's more expensive than the Xbox, and people are defending. We're going, well, that's the price. But look at the price difference here. It's $100 the opposite direction, and it's $300 cheaper back then. Okay, I know people will be like, inflation's the same, right? But that's the problem. As customers, we want the cheapest thing, right? We want the best quality for the cheapest price. Companies want the highest price for the lowest quality.
Is $100 cheaper. Cool. I'm going to go with that one.
That's it. There is no of, I'm an Xbox guy, I'm a PlayStation guy. You look at it and go, I'm going to buy that one because I'm saving $100.
And that's where they lost.
Look at the heading there.
Cool. I'm going to go with that one.
Go home, Xbox. You're drunk. Now there's people defending the higher prices.
And that's where they lost.
360.
Oh, wait. I'm going to go back to that. Look at this. Mandatory online check. Think about what's happening then and what's happening now. Mandatory online check happening now. No gaming offline for 24 hours plus. Lending games are restricted, which is happening now. Okay. Selling games restricted, which is happening now. Used games restriction, which is happening now. Mandatory camera, which is happening now on some of the consoles. Okay. Gold $60 required for Netflix, which is happening now, by the way. Right? Then you have what PlayStation was doing. Everything I just announced for the Xbox back then is what PlayStation's doing right now. Okay? PlayStation says no online check, which they are doing now. Right? No 24-hour suicide check. No, it's like 3 days or some shit. No restriction on lending. Yes, there is. No restriction on selling. Yes, there is. No restriction on used games. Yes, there is. No mandatory camera. Still no mandatory camera. And no extra charge for Netflix. No, but there is for PlayStation Plus. Do you see the world we live in? We hated it then, but we're okay with it now. It doesn't care who's doing it. We didn't like it then, and we don't like it now.
And that's where they lost.
360 set us up for being the best box for developers, the best box for core gamers. And we then flipped it around and said, this isn't a dev box. This isn't a core gaming box. This is an entertainment device. People didn't know what to think. They were just confused.
You know, they wanted to push into this digital future. The idea was all connected all the time. The console would have to be able to check in with Microsoft servers or else the games wouldn't work.
Your content is available and it's stored in the cloud.
There were going to be benefits to this, but Microsoft did a bad job of messaging those benefits.
You don't always have to be connected, but for a lot of things like multiplayer gaming, for streaming content from the internet, you're going to need an internet connection. That's the world we live in.
They just don't like to hear what they heard, right? Listen to them. We live in this world that he speaks right now.
Streaming content from the internet, you're going to need an internet connection. That's the world we live in.
You're going to need an internet connection. That's the world we live in. Here we are 13 years later. We're in that world.
One of the biggest points of confusion was how the new, always online device complicated the selling, trading, and gamers' biggest concern, sharing of games.
We knew the digital age and era was coming. We knew it. The original concept was you were going to have to be connected to play your games. You're going to play your games on your Xbox One. Here's a disc. Load it in, and you were going to have to get a license for that disc. But you had to be online to buy the license. So it's a great way to not have people do big downloads, but here's the disc and just pass it around. That's it. Simple as that. Well, that wasn't clear.
Well, the difference is now it's clear, and we still don't like it. We didn't like it then, and we don't like it now. But for some strange reason, a lot of people are okay with it now. Why? Because Blue Box said so.
Seems like every single outlet got a slightly different statement on used games.
Yep. You can't share games between friends.
You don't own the game you're buying.
Yeah.
Don't pretend like you own this
What's the difference now, chat?
thing that you just paid for.
And then stuff got really ugly.
Sony came out, guns blazing.
Which
with
is fantastic, what they did. Here's how you share a game.
Immediate response to the Xbox One.
This is how you share your games on PS4.
And this man right now online last week or 2 weeks ago says, we don't need to share anymore. This man about to hand over the thing and say, here's how you share games, came back and said, you're not going to be sharing games anymore.
Oh.
Thanks. One person just hands another person a disc. Because you weren't going to be able to do that with this always online Xbox One. Your game is your game. You own it.
So now it's not dumb? So what they did ahead of time was dumb, but what they're doing now is not dumb? Are you saying that more? Are you saying that what PlayStation is doing right now is not dumb? This is smart now? It's still dumb. It was dumb then. It's still dumb today. Difference is the frogs have been cooked. It's still bad. That's where we stand, right? Well, that's where I stand.
You can sell it. You can trade it in. That was that was brutal.
Live on Sunday, crowded. It's Monday. Well, big weekend, huh? It makes sense now because they're following consumer behavior, not forcing it. What are you talking about, bro? They're literally forcing it. Not forcing it would be you still can buy physical copies. What are you talking about, man? Just as they had problems with buying the Kinect and forcing people to buy the Kinect, PlayStation's forcing you to not buy physical, even though physical still exists.
As a team, you've got to take some bets on things that you believe in and put that thing out. Clearly, in hindsight, it was wrong. People didn't want to spend $499 for a box to plug into their television to watch TV.
And no one wants to pay $700, $800 right now to buy a console hook up to their television set. No difference.
They weren't wrong. Microsoft wasn't wrong that gamers wanted and expected more from their consoles. Absolutely. In fact, it was Microsoft's fault, if anything.
They were too far ahead of where their users thought they should be. And there was this whole backlash that they didn't expect.
In 2013, the world wasn't ready for it.
The customers are buying digital overwhelmingly more physical. You're not... 20% of the market is still buying physical. You're denying the 20% of the people that are still buying stuff and saying, well, they're not forcing you. They're literally forcing everyone to buy digital. You're just denying that they're not forcing you. You're like, well, that's just what the customers are doing. Yeah. But they're still forcing you.
We got pushback from consumers, for some journalists, questioning whether we'd made the right choice as a company. It was a valid criticism, but it was a very binary choice, and we chose.
All right, let me ask you this more. Not that I would do this in any way, shape, or form, right? But if I told you to watch my channel, you had to pay. No way you can watch my channel without you paying. Because majority of my population that watches me are subscribers that also are members. So should I make this an all members channel because the percentage is higher of people that watch me are members that are not members? Should I force you to become a member? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I have majority of the people that watch me are members every day in stream. So should I make it all members only? No, I shouldn't, because if I did that, then I would be pushing out the people that don't need to be members. What are we talking about? It's the exact same thing. I'm forcing people to purchase something. Joseph says, yes, 30, according to Wall Street. I'm literally giving the option for people to watch my stuff if they want to be a member or not be a member. But if I only made member content, because the majority of my people that watch are members, well, then I would force the other people out. I would force you to become a member. And if you didn't want it, you wouldn't buy it. You would be upset. That's exactly what's happening right now. People are upset because they're being forced to buy something they don't want to buy.
To bet on online.
It was a dark.
Right, of course, dumbest decision ever. Do it, right. It'd be so stupid for me to do that, to force people to do that.
Dark moment for us, and very, very, very painful.
News raced around the tech blogs Monday that the man behind Microsoft's future console, the Xbox One, is leaving the company.
I wish that I would have had an opportunity to stay to execute on the vision and the capabilities that the team had created. But I ended up in the summertime announcing that I was going to be leaving.
I just remember getting an email from Steve Ballmer that essentially said Don Mattrick has left. I think we all just sort of...
Well, there was no other option. There was no other option for this man. He literally self-destructed the company. If he stayed and tried to fix it, it would have been worse. It would have been worse.
Looked at each other.
Even if he could turn it around, the marketing, the perception would be completely bad.
And we're like, okay, so what happens now?
There was no fear. No failure.
Sons, it's not about people. See, this is where the argument gets thrown away. People are okay with digital, and there's people that are okay with physical. Not everybody buys digital games. There's a large chunk of people that still buy physical games. It makes no sense to me why people that are digital are upset at people that want to buy physical because you dropped physical, right? People that want physical want physical. There's still a huge market there. There's a secondhand market. There's billions of dollars that are in a secondhand market that people can buy physical games to put into their consoles, right? We're not just talking about brand new games that come out that people are buying digital. There is a huge multi-billion dollars of game discs that people can buy and put into their consoles and still play it. I know it's crazy, but because people don't think that way, they're like, well, yeah, it's just digital. It's not about digital versus physical. It's about the choice of people pulling something away from people that still buy physical.
But the rules have changed.
It was a long road and a long path from there, but the team didn't give up, didn't want to quit, didn't feel like we couldn't overcome this, and we still had to come out and deliver the console.
Well, it's here. Xbox One, finally on sale.
We had a lineup of people at the launch event. People were excited about it. We had kind of an early signal that maybe things are okay.
The MPD Group has revealed that Xbox One led console sales in December, and with its $500...
No, Rob, people will just lay over. They'll be like, no. Obviously, majority of the population is electric cars now, so you have to buy an electric car.
price point, the Xbox One led annual hardware sales on a dollars basis.
But by April, we were outsold 6 or 7 to 1 in the market, maybe 8 to 1.
No, I haven't gone over it more. Or I'm sorry, crowded. No, I haven't.
This was really bad, like catastrophic bad.
The reality is, when you have moments like this, the future of the brand is at stake. You question whether or not you're gonna be here in 5 years.
It's never a given that you're gonna get to make another generation of a console.
Brands die every day.
What? No, that's not true.
Of a console.
Brands die every day.
They sure do. They sure do. And that's why I always find it funny when someone says, well, this is never going to change. It's never going to happen. They're going to be here forever. Sounds good. What's that? What happened to Spirit? Spirit Airlines still around? No. Is Eastern Airlines still around? Is Pan Am still around? No. Is the DeLorean still around? Is what other companies for computer parts and stuff are they around? No. People fail every single day.
No one's playing on an Atari anymore. Like, nobody is playing.
It's not a niche of a niche, though, son. 20% of people still buy physical games. And that's not including that's new games. That's not including the secondhand market of people that buy games.
On a Sega Genesis.
IBM, Commodore, Atari, Sega.
We felt like our future was at stake.
I think Microsoft learned the hard way. If you take your eye off the ball, and if you don't put gamers and games at the center of your ambitions, it's going to come back and bite you.
Our fans had lost faith.
It's collapsing.
And it's been like that for 13 years. Spirit didn't die, it was murdered.
How do we re-earn the trust of customers? One thing that was very clear, more of the same was not going to work.
Today, Microsoft has announced that Microsoft Studios corporate vice president
Phil Spencer is the new head of Xbox.
Let's talk about your new role. What are you going to be doing?
The emergency glass was shattered, and Phil was pulled out and put in to right the Xbox ship that was sinking.
He was there early days, studied under Ed Freeze, so he knew exactly what made the original Xbox work. He was a gamer, but he was also a longtime Microsoft guy, so he's sort of the perfect hybrid.
He is a proxy for gamers. They believe in Phil.
I play lots of games with Phil on weekends and evenings, and he's always thinking about the player first.
Having someone lead the platform who comes.
Oh man, watching this now. These people got thrown under the bus. Thrown under the bus.
From that place.
It was a big turning point for us. We needed somebody that could lead us, that we trusted, that cared about the team.
You know what they should do? They should make all games free to play. And they should put everything in every single game, microtransactions, in the way that some of you guys are talking about, because of the small market, okay? Well, because majority of people buy microtransactions, that means all games should be microtransactions. Single player, multiplayer, doesn't really matter. Everything should be a live service. Everything should be based on the percentages that you guys are talking about, right? That all games should cost $100. They should all have microtransactions, because that's where we're going. Because it's just a small percentage. It doesn't really matter. You do understand that 20% of any business makes 80% of the market. Yet for some strange reason, the 20% that's left over buying physical games is making $0 for them. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I had no training in running a team of that size, or the platform team, or the hardware team. So I knew that it would be a challenge.
One of the things that was really hard about the Xbox One launch was Phil had more than a broken business. He had a broken culture.
There were people who would literally come up to me in tears.
Who had killed themselves to try to get a product into market. The product did not make gamers happy.
So I knew we had to get the team on board. We have to believe in why we're here.
The first thing that Phil did was
That's right. They should just get rid of consoles, Eclipse. Because the percentage of people playing on mobile phones, they should just get rid of consoles. Obviously, it's a smaller percentage of the rest of the market in the world that's playing video games and microtransactions. They should just get rid of it.
He went after culture.
I wanted to try to continue to see Xbox be an important brand in gaming, but it's not just about me. As a leader, you realize that if we can't empower our great people to do great things, that we should give up. I knew that this effort would take the entire team, and it was going to be incredibly hard.
Under Phil's leadership.
How to save Xbox, plan A. Plan B, plan C, plan D, reset to plan A.
And with a green light from Microsoft, the Xbox team launched a plan to pull back from the edge of console obscurity.
That's not true though, son. Look at Xbox. We literally just lived through this. We're watching the documentary right now. Is Xbox in a better place than it was 13 years ago right now? No, it's not. Why? Because what happened 13 years ago. And everything Sony's doing right now, okay, is what Xbox did 13 years ago. So go ahead. Let Sony do it and see. It doesn't matter the games, because they brought games to the console. They brought games to the thing. And yet people didn't care. They didn't care.
Xbox had a lot of plates to
First says charge more.
spin. They had to gain the trust of developers, they had to make a statement with the gamers, reverse all the messaging that they made, and that's not a switch that you flip overnight. That can take years. Years.
I don't think there was a question around where I wanted to focus.
We know that day one customer every year has to be the gamer. You expand from that gaming audience out.
With Phil being in charge, it sort of cemented putting a game face back on Xbox.
Marty, big news today.
Yeah, bombshell.
Microsoft announced that a connectless Xbox One is coming June 9th.
Yeah.
For
D-Bundle Connect, lower price to $399. Smart, right? That's a smart choice back then.
$399.
Yeah.
One of the decisions that we had made is that we were going to offer Xbox One without Connect and lower the price by $100.
Which should have been a no-brainer in the beginning.
This is what everyone wanted.
Xbox Entertainment Studios, which is better known as the TV division, has been shut down.
Shutting down Xbox Entertainment Studios was really just trade-offs we had.
What was this now? Shut down Xbox Entertainment Studio.
Shutting down Xbox Entertainment Studios was really just trade-offs we had to make.
All of the investments that you're making in that entertainment, the movies, the TV shows and things, are going to come at the expense of making the same investments in games. And
yeah, but do you see what's happening, Sarge? When Phil came in, he's doing exactly what Asha did, what she's doing now when Phil left, right? It's like these simple changes that you could have made. For instance, take the Kinect out of the thing. Would have been easier if Asha came in and was like, oh yeah, why are we doing this? Why are we raising the price of Game Pass, right? Take out the Kinect, make it cheaper. Why do we raise the price of Game Pass, make it cheaper? They're just rearranging the furniture of the people that come in, right? It's the same template. Fuck up. Next person comes in, makes the changes that you should have made originally.
we still had more games we needed to make.
Microsoft has announced a new platform for independent developers looking to bring their games to Xbox One.
Game content is the thing that's going to drive our success as much as anything else that we do. We needed external independent developers to be successful on our platform.
Independent developers have fundamentally changed the way we play games this generation.
The smartest move that Microsoft made was they took Chris Charla, who was a developer, and said, we're going to allow self-publishing, and this is the guy who's going to really help that.
Players don't care if it's from a big company or a single person. They just want to play fun games. And our job as a platform holder is to make that happen.
That's it. Why did it take so long? Why is it still taking so long? Like, did Satya Nadella watch this? Has he seen this? Is he listening to the people that talked about this from years ago?
This is a guy who was a developer, a smart guy. He understands the community. He's been there himself. He was great in that role.
Major League Baseball publishes a baseball game through the ID at Xbox program. Fortnite from Epic came through the ID at Xbox program.
We have the ability to get, our small, cool little ideas up on the big screen. It's just an amazing experience that none of us really saw coming.
Back when Microsoft said Phil's going to be in charge, our faith went way up that things were going to change, and then right away they did. And then when Microsoft...
I feel like this is the exact same thing that's happening right now with Asha. Asha comes in. I can see a documentary like 10 years from now. Well, Asha came in, and we were just all behind her.
Microsoft showed that they were making these moves. You were like, this has all the opportunities to really go the right way, but the gamers were still upset. And you're like, well, look, it's a big ship, but the changes they just made, give them a chance.
Again, what he's saying right now applies today. It's a big ship. Just give her a chance. See what happens and see if it pans out.
While lowering the price of Xbox One and
it's like they haven't learned anything. Isn't that crazy?
Prioritizing developers were major steps towards getting back into the good graces of gamers. A desire to enlist an entirely new generation of players inspired Xbox to go somewhere it had never been before.
Let's go to a place where everything is made of blocks, where the only limit is your imagination.
The team said, how many kids have their first experience with any video game with mom or dad's cell phone in the back seat playing Minecraft?
Amazing. 346 million people play Minecraft
The company best known for Windows and word processors will pay $2.5 billion for Swedish game developer Mojang. That is the company behind the wildly successful, ever popular Minecraft game.
No, they're gonna. It's probably one of the best deals that Microsoft has ever made, and no one talks about it. $2 billion off of Minecraft. Think about that for a second. They paid $2.4 billion for Minecraft, and they've made money off that hand over fist. Meanwhile, Sony paid $3.6 billion for Bungie, and they're never, ever going to see a return on profit like that.
Mess it up. Right after the acquisition, all of the public perception when you read about it in the press was that evil Microsoft was going to come ruin Minecraft.
Can Microsoft keep its hands off Minecraft and just keep that pure experience?
There was an assumption, again, that old console war thinking that Microsoft would pull it off of any platforms that weren't Windows or Xbox.
And there certainly could have been a decision that, look, we just paid a bunch of money for this game. We needed to go help Xbox. So from now on, the only place you're going to be able to play Minecraft is on Xbox.
There's got to be something bigger going on here.
But I'm grateful that Phil Spencer understood that what we had was a cultural phenomenon, and what we had acquired almost as much as a game was the community that came with it.
Go Red Come on,
The world is changing, and the idea that limiting...
They've completely ruined Minecraft, by the way. And only since Hytale came out did they start adding stuff to Minecraft again. But we already know why. Because they were taking the money that Minecraft was making and throwing it at other companies and other games because they were offsetting the cost. Because this game makes a shit ton of money, and they had to throw that money at other companies, which is mind-boggling.
The places where people can experience your games is not always right.
Whether you're playing on an Xbox, PlayStation, an Android, iOS device, our goal is to continue to evolve and innovate with Minecraft across all those platforms.
The decision to make Minecraft accessible across all platforms surprised the industry. But Xbox had something on the horizon that would upend it.
Wondering what's going on, eh? Wonderful. Let's get started.
With all of the things that we're trying to go do, creating Game Pass was a decision that was going to be disruptive to the industry.
I guess it's still true. People hate it.
Oh, hey! Game Pass was
It's definitely a disruption.
first service where you'd have access to a library of games and you could download and play the games in their full fidelity locally.
We heard from people who said buying multiple $70 games is actually just economically not possible. And people wanted to play across devices.
With Game Pass, you now have a shared library with your friends. And you can just decide to say, hey, let's go jump on and play this.
And they've also doubled down and tripled down since that time, right? They're putting more games play anywhere. They're putting more games on Game Pass.
What we learned as part of it was kind of not necessarily something we do at the beginning, but became this part of the journey, is it also created enormous value for publishers.
Developers that might not have had the front row or front seat, they're in there, and they're on the same level as Halo.
You know, when you're building a game, if you're not a known IP, it's really easy to get lost.
The biggest thing about Game Pass is the amount of players. I can put a game into Game Pass and 10 million players can show up the next day who might not have decided to plunk down $60 for my game.
It lowers the barrier to entry. It makes it easier for you to experiment.
The problem with this is it makes you experiment, but they also play the entire game and they don't purchase it. Where if you make Game Pass for the bigger games that are more expensive, more of a trial, demo, a time period where you can try the game, play it, and make a choice for yourself, sales would be up better.
And choose. The people that subscribe actually play more games.
It's just like flick, flick, flick. Oh yeah, I'll play this one for a while.
And now you see other companies considering and moving in faster to the Game Pass model. Game Pass is probably the future of how we distribute games.
Game Pass revolutionized the landscape of video gaming. But in order to get the most out of the tsunami of new content they were providing, Xbox knew it was time to up the ante.
Oh, it makes money, Ron, but the problem is it's not making as much money as they thought it would be making at this time.
When we launched the original Xbox, we had this tagline, "There's no power greater than X." And we were the most powerful. And we owned that.
That's what our gamers expected from us. That's what we had delivered early on.
We were always the most powerful console.
And we lost that with Xbox One.
As we thought about broadening what the Xbox One did, we had sort of lost sight of, first and foremost, this is a gaming machine.
The PlayStation 4 was a technically superior experience. You know, one friend tells his friends, hey, it's better on PlayStation 4, you should play it over there, and that just spreads.
You know, if we were a car company, we always made the fastest car, and that's what was where our brand was. But for us to get back to...
Right. Let us rent games, $10 equals 10 hours. After you get 10-hour discount, you get the game. You buy it, right? Because you're hooked, because you're like, oh, it's actually a pretty good game.
What we were always about. We needed a console that would be more powerful than any other.
Well, the problem with the projection, which is a problem across the entire industry, multiple businesses, not even across just gaming, but gaming in specific. When COVID came and COVID happened, everybody's thought this was going to happen the entire time because everyone was stuck in their houses, right? Like completely changed the landscape of what they thought they were going to make. For instance, Disney Plus wanted 100 million users by, I think it was like 5 or 7 years. They got that year one. Their projection was 5 years. When Disney Plus comes out, they were like, oh, we're going to get 100 million within 5 years. I think it was 5 years. They got it in the first year. They got like 120 million users. And they're like, oh, well, we're going to shoot straight up. But they had no content. They had nothing to do. So that started diminishing over time, right? So their expectations were way higher than they were supposed to be.
Console.
It was about reclaiming the horsepower narrative.
So Phil delivered Project Scorpio, which they called the Xbox One X.
We went back to our roots of being the most powerful console ever built.
More power, more pixels, more frame rate. It was all about core gaming goodness.
True 4K gaming.
They engineered the world's most powerful console. They win back a lot of gamer trust with that.
This monster was almost like the rebirth of the Xbox brand. To continue to make sure there is no power greater than X as we thought about the future.
The most powerful console is a thing of beauty.
I think the big thing for me is just games.
To be honest with you, Game Pass is still a really good deal, but it's too expensive. It's getting up to the point where it's too expensive. That's why it was stupid, and they lost 4 million people when they put up the $30. Some came back for the $23, but it's still, if you're a person like, I don't get my money's worth out of it. If I didn't have my son who just turned 12, I wouldn't have Game Pass. I wouldn't. But because I have a 12-year-old son that wants to play different games and try different things, it's definitely worth it. Because if I went to, back when I was a kid, if I went to Blockbuster and rented a movie, or rented a game, sorry, it would cost me $5. I would rent multiple games, which would be about $20 a month. Well, I didn't have to buy all those games. I rented them. It's the same thing. As a parent, I'm saving a shit ton of money, and he's playing games that he wants to play. It's still a really good value.
How do we deliver the best games to people? Get the games that our players love.
We said, content is critical.
And one of the best ways to get the best games is to invest in studios.
That's what we like to see.
But I wouldn't have to pay the big price, Sarge, is what I'm saying. You still have to get the minimum price. Regardless if I had Game Pass or not, you would if you wanted to play online on console, you had to pay $10 for Xbox Live. But if I have Game Pass, I get that and I get the games.
Making games is hard, it's complicated. It's about, hey, can a group of people actually effectively create something together?
We have to be really thoughtful and mindful about respecting the culture and the heritage.
Yeah, if it was a longer game, then you would rent it multiple times, right? We used to do it all the time. You would never buy the game, you just rent it like 3 times. And then you would beat it. Because games weren't 40, 50, 60 hours back then, at least when I was a kid.
of the studio, but also infusing, kind of the power of Microsoft. There's no magic formula for that. I think that's more of an art than a science.
One of the biggest missteps that we learned from in the past was Lionhead.
We had already published Fable 1, and it was a hit. People loved it. The beauty of that game, it was basically like a moving stained glass window. People wanted more, and so we bought Lionhead. Those were good years. The game was great. Just everything came together. But after Fable 2, Connect came along, and the Fable Connect marriage just never really took. And then Fable Journey.
Who wants to play a game like that? I fucking hate. Like, no one wants to change their channels like this. Like, you're waxing on, waxing off, right? Like, again, a finger on a button does the exact same thing, and it feels much better than sitting there. This is cool. Be like, hey, wow, I could do. Like, for instance, I play VR mini golf. VR mini golf is fantastic because it feels like I'm at a mini golf course playing mini golf, right? But this action of me doing this, okay, is a lot different than doing this, changing and doing kung fu and stuff like that. It's nobody wants to play games like this. Working out, cool. But playing a game, who wants to do that? It's a cool experience, but you don't want to do that every single day. Otherwise, you would stop gaming.
Was a passion project for a lot of people, but I think it deviated pretty significantly from the pillars of what made Fable 1 and 2 so popular.
There's some very, very sad news coming out of Microsoft today. So they're shutting down Fable developer Lionhead Studios.
We acquired Lionhead.
Well, it's funny you say that, Ron. Connect would work today. There's a little box that they sell now at like Target and Walmart. I saw it. It's like Playground, I think it's called. That's exactly what it is. It's Connect. You buy a little camera, and it's actually selling really well. No, Shadow, it is. Okay? Because it's not going for the hardcore gamer. It's going for just little kids. And they're buying this little thing. I think it's called the Playground.
2006. Shut it down in 2016. A couple years later, we reflected back on that experience. What did we learn? How do we not repeat our same mistakes?
You acquire a studio for what they're great at now, and your job is to help them accelerate how they do what they do, not them accelerate what you do.
I wish Lionhead were still a viable studio.
It is only when you fall that you learn whether you...
Xbox Live is just included in Game Pass. They got rid of it. It's just part of the lowest tier.
When we launched Xbox One X in 2017, we knew studio acquisitions were going to be huge for us. The studios we had were creating amazing games, but we wanted to have more. And the challenges that we went through with Lionhead taught us what to do this time.
Welcome to E3 2018. So with the many failures of the Xbox One, they're a distant second to Sony. But to their credit, they had been doing everything right. The potential is there at E3.
It's actually pretty expensive. Let me look it up real fast. I think it's like, I want to say it's like $200-300 as well. Am I wrong about that? It's called Next Playground. Right? This is what it looks like. Right? It's called Next Playground. This is the Connect. Okay? $300. Just the camera. Like that's the system. $300. Let me see if they talk about the sales. Yeah, it came out in March this year. Okay, Next Playground Play System surpassed 1 million lifetime units sold. Right? It did a soft launch in 23. It did another through 2024. It accelerated in 2025, but then it fully came out, and now it's 1 million cumulative units threshold retail in the U.S. alone, and then it also sold in the U.K. and Ireland. Right? It's not selling like crazy good, But think about that for a second. It's the same thing as a Kinect, and people are buying it for $300.
2018 to regain that foothold in the upcoming next generation.
We know that exclusive games from our Microsoft studios are what originally turned so many of us into Xbox fans.
The first and greatest instance of us showcasing what we do for players is what we do with our studios.
Phil, he took out the credit card, went on a shopping spree, bought some amazing companies, started promising games.
I'm excited to welcome Undead Labs to Microsoft Studios.
It doesn't matter what your technology is. If you don't have the games, we were done. Content is king.
Ninja Theory, Compulsion Games, a brand new Microsoft studio. The Initiative, Playground Games.
Yesterday was a huge moment. You brought not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 new studios.
The acquisitions kept coming at a blistering pace.
We'll be acquiring In Exile Entertainment, Obsidian Entertainment.
We doubled the number of internal studios to 15 internal studios and made a big...
Who's still with them?
We doubled the number of...
Compulsion's gone. Double Fine's gone. Ninja Theory's gone. Undead Labs is gone. So you got -4. So you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 studios left, right?
Internal studios.
Or the Initiative
to
gone as well.
15 internal studios and made a big group of acquisitions.
Double Fine Productions.
Buying all those studios, Microsoft focused back on the hardcore gamer.
We're highlighting 60 games for you. 14 games from Xbox Game Studios and over 30 games premiering in Xbox Game Pass. Let's jump in.
This volley of acquisitions created one of the largest, most diverse catalogs in the industry. But Microsoft had its eye on one more target, and it was a big one.
We're really delighted to reach this.
The problem, I don't know if they talk about it here. They were talking about how Bethesda was going to be picked up for a timed exclusive. Again, I don't know if they talk about it here, and I don't know if it's the word out there was that Sony was going to pick up Bethesda to make it a timed exclusive for their games, right? So Starfield would have been a Sony exclusive for a certain period of time. Microsoft came in and bought them and then said that we're taking it and we're going to put it on Xbox and we're going to put it on, now obviously it's on PlayStation now, but we're going to put it on Xbox and PC so more people can play it. If Sony bought it, it would have just been on Sony. And then the other guys wouldn't have gotten it at all.
Agreement with ZeniMax and bring Bethesda into the Microsoft family.
The move adds 8 more studios to Xbox's first-party portfolio, including Bethesda Game Studios, id Software, Arcane, Machine Games, Tango Gameworks, and more.
They got rid of Tango.
What you really see us do,
they got rid of Arcane,
is broadening the opportunity for people to participate in what is one of the world's greatest entertainment and leisure time activities.
It's a game changer because it's bigger than anything else we've ever done in gaming. It's the 3rd largest acquisition in Microsoft's history, which still blows my mind. And so now more than ever, like, our commitment to games is absolute.
And look what Phil did, though, right? Don Matrick made it an entertainment box, and Phil had to buy the goodwill back to show, hey, we're still investing in video games for the future of the game box that no one's buying.
Microsoft's commitment to keeping fans on their toes was also absolute.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Game Awards 2019. I'm Jeff Keighley.
Hi, Gerd.
World premieres are a big part of this show, and you guys have a lot of expectations on the internet for things. There are lots of rumors, lots of leaks.
It's pretty rare, I think, nowadays that any new tech doesn't leak and nobody knows that it's coming.
And then sometimes there's surprises that come out of nowhere. Enjoy this.
They fucking showed the Elder Scrolls 6 and they didn't show anything. 2019.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream.
A lot of dreams.
And that you could have the power.
I don't think anybody saw it coming. It was something completely unexpected.
Whoa, is this Elden Ring?
Even the video was deliberately designed, talking about power your dreams and, the visuals of that.
Let's have a surprise.
BioShock?
And then, wait a minute, what was that?
Wait, what?
I just saw a car race through, and then there's like a soccer scene, and then by the time I saw Master Chief.
That's Halo!
Halo. That's what I want.
And finally, you would dream where you are now.
And seeing the streamer.
I'm not jealous of these people. I never get excited like this. I never ever get excited like this for anything because I don't cash the checks before they. You know what I mean? I don't cash a signed check. You know what I mean? Because they might bounce still.
That were streaming and their reactions. That element of surprise is so magical and so powerful.
That's that. Oh, the Scarlet.
Yeah! Xbox! This is not the new Xbox console. Wait, this is not the new Xbox console. What? They're showing their new box? What the heck?
For 18 years and 3 generations, we've designed Xbox consoles to power your dreams.
Oh, my boy! You dog.
Meet the Xbox Series X. It was nutso because I had no clue it was coming, and I was there.
I don't know if we're jaded. People that are not jaded would call us jaded. I would just call it experience. You know what I mean?
Our fastest, most powerful Xbox will set a new bar for performance.
Games are going to look better. Games are going to play better.
It is, in fact, the most powerful console you can have in your living room right now.
Yes! Yes!
Right. Moments before, and then nobody could get one.
When we talk about freedom to play, Project Scarlet is the formation.
Ron says, we need a 30 NSG reaction to Project Helix reveal. You will. It's the same as this right here. And you can just take this clip right now and you can impose it over anything because this is my facial expression when it happens.
Of our future in cloud.
Microsoft, meanwhile, launching a video game streaming service. All your games can be streamed right into your phone or your computer.
The same way the original Xbox bridged the gap from early adopters with broadband. This powerful beast of a machine that can play games locally, it's also going to connect to the cloud. So it will bridge the gap between traditional in the living room local gaming and cloud-based gaming.
We envision a world where you can play any game with anyone on any device. It is the next
which is happening right now.
Instance of what it means to game anywhere.
We're streaming from data centers around the world to people's cell phones. We have thousands of people doing it in 3 continents. Like, that's just crazy.
And I'll be damned if it doesn't actually, it works. It actually works.
Where are we?
It might be, Shadow, but the problem is, as people right now are saying, well, who cares about physical? Everything's digital. There'll be a time where everything is cloud, which is still digital. You're not going to own anything, right? That's what it is. And everyone's going to be okay with it. I'm not okay with it. That's why I say it. And people are like, well, I want all the people that don't like physical, right? Hello? I just want to buy something that I own. If I just rent games all day long from Blockbuster, I used to do that as a kid, but I also used to buy the thing. I used to buy the thing. The games that I want to buy, I buy. I want to own. I want to hold. I want to be able to play it. And if I stop buying the subscription model for Game Pass or PlayStation Plus or whatever, I want to be able to watch or play the movie, the music, the game. But people are just okay with just not owning everything.
I'm a big believer in the technology access story of Project xCloud. Think about the way you could unlock community
One of the things we were really focused on with this generation was making Xbox available and appealing to the widest audience.
I think we have some unique responsibilities to bring people from different backgrounds into the experience. And in order for us to succeed in that, we need to have the right services and content.
Does anyone miss owning movies, music, TV box sets? I miss owning movies and music, hence why I still buy music and movies. What are we talking about?
And creators building things for all kinds of players.
It's about creating an opportunity for those that would not have had it otherwise.
Why is it that I can still buy music, I can still buy movies, I can still buy books, but I can't buy video games?
0.5 billion people on the planet play video games today, half the connected world. And that is the scale of opportunity a company like Microsoft should go after. Being bold and making bets is part of the culture of what it means to be here.
That was an okay game, Recore. It's all right.
I think that's true now. And it was true from the beginning.
Where are we going?
Back to where it all began.
This was okay.
And we had some guys at Microsoft came and said, we should do a console. A Microsoft console?
It's insane to launch a game console. When you're Microsoft, you made frickin' Windows in a spreadsheet. Bill Gates took a bet on us.
Right. And now, Satya Nadella is shitting on you.
Being able to do something very different and revolutionary was where you were getting our energy from.
Are you ready? If you think about where we were 20 years ago, when I first moved into the games group, my dad was horrified because gaming wasn't a career and gaming was something that nobody did.
One of the most incredible things is this turning.
Well, of course, Ray. Of course, that's not funny. You're saying how Xbox invested in accessibility, but only it's Xbox licensed. It's up to the developers to incorporate the accessibility for their games. It's not Xbox's responsibility. They make the peripherals. The peripherals are made for the games by the developers, not because of Xbox.
Point in how gaming is viewed. That evolution of people suddenly seeing the value of the community that comes with gaming.
There's a fundamental change to the way we think about human interaction.
There he is.
We can have deep, meaningful relationships with people a world away that we've never met in person.
11 years of playing together. 11 years. We finally see each other.
Where's that game? Where's that one? Huh? Where's Beyond Good and Evil 2?
Even in recent history.
Do we think that's going to be the what they show at the Video Game Awards show this year? The one more thing?
Throughout 2020, we saw that people recognized this as a way to have a social experience in a time when we had to be distanced.
The pandemic got people to rethink how they think.
They're still working on it. They're still working on it, Shadow. We've had reports. They're still working. Was it about 5 months ago? 5 months ago, there was an article. They're still working on it.
About video games.
Children can sit and play Minecraft with friends and build and create something and connect. And at the core, that's what Xbox is about.
As Xbox continues to grow, I think it's going to continue to shape the future of the gaming community. It goes beyond how many units they sold.
Tomorrow in Germany, it starts at 2 o'clock. We're not going to watch it live.
It goes beyond which generation they won or were dominant in.
I think a company like Microsoft, we should stand for something more than just what place we're in. And I want Xbox to be around forever. And I want to be able to look back on it and say, we really use this opportunity to shape culture.
So I'm announcing the Xbox, the future of console gaming, a whole new platform that all of you are going to take in directions that we can't even imagine. And the empowerment that comes out of this is going to be amazing.
Yeah, but Sonny, you're missing the point. You can still buy movies. You can still buy music. I don't understand. You're saying what the sales are. We don't give a shit. The people that want to buy stuff are still allowed to buy stuff. Still allowed to own a movie. Still allowed to own a record player. Still allowed to own a music. Still allowed to read a book. You're not allowed to own a video game.
The power of X.
There you go. It's a good series. That's a good series. I like it. Yeah, again, I said it earlier. It's not about digital and physical, right? The thing is about physical, you can still own it. And regardless of that, I don't own the game, right? I don't own this game, right? I own Red Dead. I don't need online to play Red Dead. I can play Red Dead. So regardless, as long as my disc works and I have a box that works, I can continue playing this game, right? Or another game. Now, there are live service games and there are games that need to attach to online to play, to check to see if you own it and stuff like that. Great. The games that I want to own, right? The games that I want to own, regardless if it's digital or physical, there's games that I own digital, there's games that I own physical. The games that I want to own, I can still purchase those games. Why are people, they're like, well, fuck those people. I don't buy digital, so you shouldn't be able to buy, or I don't buy physical, so you shouldn't buy physical either. Why? Right? Why? Why is it that I can't continue buying what I want to buy because you want to buy digital? It makes no sense. That doesn't make any sense, though. If I used to be able to put 12 discs into King's Quest when I played on PC all those years ago, I still own those. I still own those. If I want to put 12 discs in and that's what I want, that's on me. I want to buy the disc. I want the disc. You don't want the disc? Cool. Don't buy the disc. Like, Dupa says, where's the idiot that I was arguing yesterday on Discord? He's going to argue with this explanation? Like, I just don't understand why people are upset that people still want to own stuff. How does that affect anyone that's buying digital? It doesn't. Our gripe is not with the people that want to buy digital. It's not with anybody. It's with the companies, the corporations that are trying to stop us from buying things. You can still buy the physical media for all these other things, but video games, for some reason, can't do it. It's impossible. Okay? So then why do I have to have hard drives? Who cares what the gigabytes are? Because you're only playing on the cloud. And now what's going to happen in the future is that you're going to pay for cloud service, and you're also going to be playing online because you're not going to own the game. It's going to be digital because it's going to be streaming from a cloud, but you have to have the cloud service and also to pay for the game. Moore says, the good point is the movies that are music are also small compared to games. What about independent games that are just digital? They're small games. There's movies out there that are more gigabytes than some of the games out there that are digital. What about that? So your whole thing is you're for Sony and Xbox and Nintendo because the storage is too much for these multi-billion/trillion-dollar companies. You have to have, well, where's the storage going to go? What are these guys going to do? I don't care. As a customer, I want to be able to buy physical. If you put 2 discs in the box, guess what? If you're buying digital, you don't have to worry about it. If I want to play it, I get 2 discs. Here. Look at this. What happened back in the day? Okay. What happened back in the day? I have Grand Theft Auto in my Xbox right now. Xbox Grand Theft Auto 5. I also have the Grand Theft Auto disc here. Disc 2. Disc 2. So explain to me why it's okay to have 2 discs for Grand Theft Auto 5 way back in the day, but now they're just getting too big. Final Fantasy had multiple discs, but it's just too big now. Poor corporations can't make double discs for the people that want to buy them. You guys would rather protect the corporations because of their storage capabilities. Please. Why do I give a shit how much the costs are? If I'm buying physical and I want to buy the physical, what's it to you? What's it to the company? Oh, no, they can't make 99.9% of the profit. Now they only can make 79.9% of the profit. What the fuck are we talking about? Stop it now, more. Like, what are we talking about? You're literally, listen to this, you're literally protecting the billion-dollar corporation because you buy digital, but I want to buy physical, and you're trying to protect me? You're trying to protect me for buying the things that I want to buy? What brain wave is this? If you want to buy digital, buy digital. If I want to buy physical, I want to buy physical, but you're like, no, the corporation doesn't want to do that. It costs them too much money. Why would they do that for you? Because I'm a customer. Because I'm a customer. They wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for us that were buying all these stuff ahead. How did they make it this far in life? How did they make it? How did they make these copies all these years by printing discs and making money, billions of dollars? How did they do it? They just can't do it anymore. It's not a challenge. It's not a challenge. They choose to not participate anymore to force you into one way and one way only. It's like you guys have fallen for hook, line, and sinker. Someone writes an article going, oh, it's too expensive for them to make these discs. This is why they have to make it all digital. Okay, keep that same energy when you can't even buy digital, but you're going to pay for the price of digital, and you're going to have to stream it. So there's going to be an extra time on top of that, right? And it's only coming through the cloud. And you have shittier quality through the cloud. Well, it's just the storage is just too much. You know what it takes to stream hundreds of gigabytes over the cloud? But they can't put that on discs. It's just too unfathomable. It's mind-boggling to me, the people that, and it's not you specifically, more. It's just that we're in this world now where we just assume and just believe that, well, the big corporation can't do it. It's just going to cost them too much. They just think about look. This is the way it works, right? They make a product, I buy the product. If you're no longer making product, why am I going to buy your product? I'm not buying a service. I want to buy your product, right? There are things that I'll participate in your service, right? Like I don't want to own, let's say I wanted to watch Supergirl. I don't want to own Supergirl. I didn't want to support Supergirl when it was in theaters. But if I want to watch Supergirl, I might rent it. I might give it $3, $5 to rent it and watch it. I'm not. But if I wanted to, I get it and watch it. I don't want to own that. I don't want to own that. But now, Spider-Man Brand New Day. I want to own it. I want to buy it. I don't want to rent it. I want to purchase it. Choice. I have choice. Video games say, no more choice. You only have what we're putting out in front of you. But it's going to be expensive anyway. As Tarnish said, it's going to be expensive. You think they're going to give you a discount because it's digital? That's only for a small introductory fee. Then down the road, they'll be like, well, it's just getting too expensive to stream those things over the cloud. You're going to have to pay $150 for that that same game. You'd be like, but I'm not getting it. That's just what it is. But you bought them. Did you buy it physical, Rex, or did you buy it digital? You bought it through Sony, through the actual digital format of it, correct? So if you bought the physical, see, now if you wanted it, but now you're probably upset at Sony, right? So now you probably don't want to go buy the James Bond discs again. But if you bought the disc, you'd still watch those, right? You bought both. Or you buy both. You buy physical and digital. That's Ray. This is exactly why, and this is what's mind-boggling to me. The people that they took 551 movies off of Sony because of licensing agreement. That has nothing to do with me. I bought the thing. I should be able to still watch it. And it's not like my file could be corrupted. It's a digital format. I should be accessed. Be like, yeah, we're taking it down, but you still have access to it, so you still own it. Yeah, I don't know. All right, it's 12:30. That's going to do it for me today. Same with 4K Blu-ray. I value my collection, the more the physical media. I say that as someone who only plays digital games now, just like I value my Blu-ray collection. I value choice. That's all we're saying. That's all I'm saying, right? It's the choice that I'm against. So, Rex, let me ask you this. Would you go buy the actual physical discs now because they took it away from you? Would you go buy it to own it? Or are you like, nah, I'm done because they stole it from me. I don't want to support them anymore. I do prefer Netflix, never disc, because if I want to change language, I can. I had friends from Mexico coming to my house, and many of the discs didn't have Spanish dub. Yeah, cash versus cashless. We just went to a thing today, this weekend. We tried to pay cash for a thing. They're like, no, we don't have cash. Well, what if I didn't have a card? They're like, well, you could pay your phone. What about if I don't own a phone? Everyone has a phone, so but I didn't bring my phone into the water park, so I couldn't pay for anything. I brought cash because I don't care if my money gets wet, right? I didn't want to bring a card or whatever, so I just put a little money in that thing, and they couldn't take cash. I don't want to carry stuff on me like that, you know what I mean? Rex says, I'm done. Yeah, see? And that's the part that is shameful. Not because you were a customer and you wanted to buy the thing because you believed in what they sold you, right? You believed that, oh, it's digital, it's more convenient, it's awesome. But then they took it from you and you're like, now you're jaded. Now you're like me, right? You're jaded because the company dicked you over and you're like, what? Exactly. It leaves a sour taste what Sony did. So now they've hurt you as a customer.
We don't need to hear an explanation for why this is a good business move, or how the billion-dollar corp knows so much more than we do, therefore the decision is good. It's about options.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right? It 100% leaves a sour taste in your mouth, and now you're gun shy now. You're like, I don't really trust this, right? And that's the problem, right? The customers that believed in the thing that they wanted are now, I don't know if I should do this. Imagine going above and beyond, where some companies do this, where if you bought a movie, you have the physical and you have the digital right to also watch it digitally. So if you're on vacation somewhere, you don't have to bring the disc with you. It just says you own this. It knows that you own it, right? That would be consumer friendly. But instead what they do is, oh, you bought this? Oh, we're taking it away from you. Sorry. Shit out of luck. no phone, then hop back in your... No, but in a specific scenario here, Saint, is that I didn't want to bring my phone into the water park, right? I know I could have gotten one of those cases and put the thing in, but then I got to carry it and stuff like... I just wanted to go in with cash in my pocket, go up to a thing and go, I want a burger. Here's money, right? But they don't want that, right? They don't want that. Right? Because I don't want anything on me. I walk in with my bathing suit. I don't want to rent a locker. I just want to go in, go on the wave pool, go in those lazy river, go down the slides, have the cash, pull it out of that little pocket of mine, and then pay for the thing, and then move on with my life. Nope. We don't take cash. I'm like, well, I'm not going back out to the car. So now what that did, right? So now what that did is they lose money. They lose money because now I'm not buying anything because they're not accepting cash, okay? And I don't have my phone on me or a credit card, and I'm not going back out to the car. So now what? Now you've lost money. So how many people in the park didn't have it on them and they lost money? I could have been the only one, or there could have been 10, or there could have been 100 people, or it could have been 1,000 people. Because it's no longer good. I don't have a choice. All right. That is going to do it for me today. There will not be a stream this afternoon with Mr. Luke. Today and tomorrow. Today, I can't do it. Tomorrow's up in the air. If it changes tomorrow, because tomorrow is my son's birthday, and I got to deliver pizza to the school, and his lunch is around the same time I would stream. So that's right now. Maybe when I'm done delivering the pizza and stuff like that, I can come back and go live again. But as of right now, no stream today. This afternoon. We'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow morning, we'll be back for the Daily Grind. Not sure about the afternoon stream. And then we'll be back tomorrow evening for 30 and Still Gaming to stream some games there. Why would anyone want cash? Because it's easier for them and it stops people from stealing, employees stealing from cash and stuff like that. I would assume. I think it's stupid, son, but that's just the way it works, right? You're like, my money's not good here? Okay, you're not making money off of me then. So if you guys don't see it tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be back tomorrow morning in the morning. I appreciate that. Is it Pizza Hut? It is not Pizza Hut. Actually, I don't know what he wants yet. It might be Papa John's. It might be Papa John's. I have to ask him when he gets home today. I appreciate you guys very much. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for all the super chats. I do appreciate you very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Another showcase, another lie, another trail of money can't buy. Marketing teams with panic in their eyes, watching one day swallow up the sky. Publishers hiding, moving release plans, years of development buried in the sand. We'll launch next month, they quietly say, cause nobody wants to die that day. Coffee stain meetings, executives pray, looking at projections, watching profits fade away. The GTA